Just keep it real. Big John Steel. Tell me how you feel. Convince me where the top go. Just keep it real. Big John Steel. Tell me how you feel. Convince me where the top go. Jesus is king. Big John Steel. Jesus is king. Big John Steel. Bro, you don't make any sense. Slow down a second, it's making you tense. When I be talking, just don't interrupt. I say the truth, you get salty.
Oh, what a day. What a day. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Back with a bad act. Back with a bad back. A bad attitude. What's up, folks? How's everyone doing today? This is a little up in my face. There we go.
You won't change my mind even if you repeat it. Just keep it real. Big John Steel. Tell me how you feel. Convince me where the top go. Just keep it real. Big John Steel. Tell me how you feel. Convince me where the top go. Jesus is king. Big John Steel. Jesus is king. Big John Steel. Give me some logic, I just wanna know why you so toxic,
Abby,
bro, I'm on a roll.
the person Lexica, ban them.
Say that you hold a
Because they
position
keep saying
defended.
gross
Linda,
things.
I know you don't listen, let's end it. It's your own fault that you're stuck in your state. I just move on if you come in bad faith. Don't say that I mean, I say what I mean. I'm showing love, pull you away
I'm
from
not
the
gonna
peace.
say
You
it.
run away, you afraid or you weak. Bro, I don't play, I can make them retreat. You choose a deceit, ain't making me nervous. For those that I've reached, I've been living my purpose. This ain't at all about the money. Money. Trying to lift up the soul of this gum is real. Big John Steel. Tell me how you feel. Convince me where the top go. Just keep it real. Big John Steel. Tell me how you feel. Convince me where
You gotta stop singing along.
Jesus is king.
I don't care. That sounds like a them problem.
Jesus is king. Big John Steel.
What's up, folks? How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's having a good Monday. Make sure you're smashing the like button, sharing the live, doing the things that you need to do to make sure we get out to the people we need to get out to, these dirty, filthy, disgusting heathens that are out there in the world. This might be the last day we're going to do this topic. We might end up switching back to the actual topiks we're supposed to be doing, or we were doing before.
There's no supposed to be doing anything.
There's no supposed to be
We
doing
get to do whatever we want.
We do whatever we want.
Why are you whining? I thought you like that.
I don't know. I just want to be mad at you for no reason. For no reason at all.
Jesus is king. Jesus is king. Jesus is king. Jesus is king. Yo! Just for keep it real. Yo, tell me how you feel. Convince me when the talk go. Just keep it real. Yo, tell me how you feel. Convince me when the talk go. Jesus is king. Big John Steel. Jesus is king. Big John Steel.
Okay. All right, folks. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's having a good day. I think we're live and good to go on every platform. We're only live on TikTok. I don't even know how to wink properly. There you go.
Yes, you do.
You got to do the little click sound when you do it. That's how you do it, a proper wink, right? So yeah, we are only live on TikTok. But make sure you smash the like button, sharing the live. This should be, I don't know if it's going to be the last day. I think people are getting sick of it, but I don't want to stop doing it.
We could do it like once a week or something.
Once a week. It might just become a once a week topic.
Look at my face. My face is gone.
Thank God. No one can see or hear you. You're just a ghost. I do have it.
It's kind of spooky.
I have it turned up a little bit, the brightness. Hold on. No, it's still gone. I don't know. Let's turn that back up, though. It's a little bright. What do you think? Here or here? A. This is A. This is B. A or B? I think B, actually, now that I see it.
I think B, too.
Yeah, I think that was too bright. We're going to stick with B. Abby's a little quiet because she still has a broken mic, and I don't want that sound happening, so...
I'll yell.
She's got to yell. We just want that like light in the background until we have moolah bucks, and then we can finally get a new mic. I did start a what do you call it? Wish list
Amazon?
Amazon, but I haven't posted the link on anything yet. So I've been slacking. I'm not gonna lie. I've been slacking this last week. We're gonna get back to everything. I'll post it tonight or something like that, and get it going. So there's some things on there that everybody's been saying, make a wish list. So we made
Can
a
I
wish
put
list.
something on there?
No, Abby, that's not what the wish list is for. The wish list is for stuff for the office. That's what it's for, right? It's not for you painting your nails or doing your crochet or whatever it is.
I don't crochet. I cross stitch.
Huh?
Get it right.
You cross stitch?
Cross stitch.
You can also ban Mr. 100K a day.
Oh,
You talk shit about me. Don't talk shit about my wife.
0.
Well, I'm black.
What?
Didn't you know? Didn't you know I'm black? Let's do a quick prayer. Our Father is in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. Lord, thank you for this day. Walk with us this day. Be present with us this day. Guide us into good conversations this day, or bad conversations, or whatever it is. Whatever you guide us in, just give us the spirit to handle it. And make sure that what we're doing is right in your eyes. In Jesus' name, amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Get my notebook out, and then we'll get started, Reno. But again, guys, make sure you're smashing the like button, sharing the live, doing the things that you need to do, so that way we can talk to the people we are supposed to talk to. This can get minimized, and then we just need to take this over here, and then pull that up, and then here we are. Why did you hate Charlie Kirk? That's the topic today. Let's figure out why you're all so evil. That's what I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn why y'all are so evil. So why did you hate Charlie Kirk? Multiple ways to join the conversation. Obviously, multi-guest button, but there is the schmink that's in this place. Open up the floodgates, Abby.
Okay.
And then we will get started on why did you hate Charlie Kirk? I would be very curious. So far, the reasons that people have given to me have been this meme. Hold on. Everything that I've heard has been this meme right here. This is how they conclude that Charlie is a racist, or he's trying to take down people, or he's a white supremacist, or he's got these certain talking points. Is, well, if you notice on January 12th, 2022, he said this word, lip-lop, and that word lip-lop is a specific talking point for the specific people that you'll notice in this specific group over here, and he's shown connections with them because they waved at each other once. You seen as he drove down the street, the guy waved at him, and Charlie waved back, so clearly they're BFFs, and so seeing as how we know that they're BFFs, and he said that word lip-lop, we know that he is a white supremacist. This is the only logical conclusion that we can come to, ladies and gentlemen, that Charlie Kirk is a white supremacist. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Mitchell comes in with $10, says, good morning, John and Abby, and chat. Good morning, Mitchell. I hope you have a good day putting together them pool tables, my friend. One day I'm going to get you to make me a pool table. I don't even play pool that much. I just want to have moolah bucks that I can hire you, and you can come in and we could just like make me a pool table. And I just be like, thanks, buddy. Here's a tip. And then they'll just sit in the corner and collect dust. Yeah, that's the goal in life. That's the goal. Hello, Andrew. How are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Oh, hi there. I'm 29, and sorry, let me mute your your video there. I got. Anyways, yeah, I'm 29. How are you today?
I'm good, man. So why did you hate why did you hate Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I actually did not hate Charlie Kirk.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I think that you're doing an awesome job trying to find the truth and what people are looking for. And if you don't mind, I'd like to share the verse of the day with you.
I guess since we have no guests, I'll allow it.
Okay, yeah. So the verse of the day is Romans 8:11, and it says, "If the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead is living in you, he who raised Christ from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies, because of his spirit who lives in you." And yeah, I think that you're doing a great job. I think we live in a world where too many people get entrenched in what they're told to believe in, especially watching you over the last few days discussing this topic here. It's really become evident that a lot of people just seem to believe what they're told to believe. And then when you actually have a discussion with them, their beliefs kind of fall apart. So I think they're doing an awesome job, and keep up the good work.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it. God bless.
Yeah, God bless.
What a nice guy.
What a nice guy. What a nice guy. Zay, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Good morning. I'm 39.
All right, bro. Why did you hate Charlie Kirk?
I didn't necessarily hate Charlie Kirk, and I don't really hate anybody. But I did dislike Charlie Kirk. I didn't agree with pretty much anything that he had to say for the most part. Well, especially when it came to politics. So I think he generally framed things in a very inhonest, and I think a lot of the debates weren't necessarily in good faith. And I think he said a lot of things that were, that he does things like other people do, where he tells half truths and that are patently false when you talk about the conclusions where we inevitably end up at, which is the truth. So yeah, that's pretty much my viewpoint. Again, I don't think he deserved to be unalive for his opinion. Or anything like that, but it just kind of goes to show. And somebody said this, like, just because you pass away doesn't mean it kind of erases how you lived, or you still carry that on into the living still carry it on. How you lived. So yeah, that's pretty much my little synopsis there.
Okay, so what did he say that made you dislike him?
He mentioned plenty of things. Again, you might disagree with it. It's, some of the popular stuff when he was speaking about DEI policies, the history of kind of the civil rights, and how African Americans ended up in a lot of the situations that we find ourselves today.
I'm looking for a specific example,
Okay, like the 1350. Theory, I guess you want to call it that, or the 1350 idea that he liked to kind of.
What's this 1350 idea?
It's the idea that 13% of the population, which is considered the black population, are committing 50% of the unalivings in the country.
Okay, so what he said on Jubilee.
Yeah, he said on Jubilee. He's mentioned it a couple times, and other things as well.
Okay. If he was right about what he said, would you dislike him?
If he was right?
Yeah. Like if those statistics were true, hypothetically, like he provided those statistics and they were actually true, would you dislike him?
That's not the only thing, but if he presented that and other things in a more honest way, then I probably would like him. The Charlie Kirk didn't pop up on my radar. I follow politics closely, and he's debated people before, like Cal Kalinske.
Well, you kind of jump into another point. You brought up that specific point of the 13% to the 50% incarcerated. If that statistic was true, would you dislike him for bringing it up?
If it was true, I probably wouldn't dislike him. If it was true, then I would just analyze the data deeper.
Okay, so then I think you kind of have a burden here to show me that he didn't believe it was true.
I have a burden to show you that he didn't believe it was true?
Yeah. Because people can be, do you dislike people for being mistaken about things?
No. Here's the thing. And I genuinely believe this and his idea that he brought up that specific statistic to support an argument that, and he goes more into depth when saying this, saying like black fathers are, the reason this is happening is that black fathers are absent in the homes of their children.
That is true.
What?
Black fathers are notoriously absent in homes.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, that is true.
No, I'd squarely have to disagree with you there. And I know you got your people looking up those numbers, but yeah. In fact, actually, out of all the demographics, I think the statistic shares that black fathers are the most present in their children's lives.
Well, let's look it up.
Okay. I'm not in front of my computer. I'm just doing my daily stuff, watering my garden, doing my regular daily stuff. So,
I'm not gonna lie to you when I look it up. Like,
yeah, for sure.
if it says the opposite, I'm just gonna concede. Like, I don't want black people to not be fathers. That would be terrible.
There's someone, yeah, somebody mentioned this. It was a CDC study.
Just bear with me. Why is this taking so long? What?
I was just wondering what you were searching on.
Did you find something?
No, not yet.
While we're also, I guess, waiting for that information to populate, there's a funny thing with statistics and studies, and where I think he was disingenuous with regarding the 1350 idea and
Okay,
the.
hold on. Just as soon as you started talking, it all came up. So,
Okay.
Black or African Americans percentage of in single parent families is 53%. White is 24%. Hispanic is 39%. Overall, races is 34%. This comes from datacenter.aecaf.org. Locations for the United States. There you are, right there. And just based off, like, if you just use that kind of conclusion there, right? In prison systems, most people in prison systems are fatherless. Like, that's 80%. Pew Research Center also comes in and says 44% of black fathers versus 21% of white fathers. PMC, that doesn't seem trustworthy. CMC says it's 72% of black mothers are single. And I wouldn't say it's that high. So, yeah.
Yeah, what I was going to say too, and this is what I mentioned was a CDC study, but what I was going to mention too is, like, when we talk about these things too, when we present certain data facts and certain information to kind of support our arguments, I think he presented those arguments in bad faith and disingenuously to support the idea that, hey, these people, and I've had these debates with other people too, and it always comes down to
right. But that's the question I asked you. That's the question I asked you to do at the start. And then you tried to shift the topic. Was I said, if you want to say that you dislike him for bringing up these statistics, then you need to show me that he knew that they were false. So you're saying now you think he brought him up disingenuously, dishonestly. You have to. That's a burden of proof. You have to show me he didn't.
Yeah,
believe those statistics.
I think that he's well aware that those statistics are false.
Based off what?
That he's bringing up.
Based off what?
Based off of, well, his debates and the tactics that he would employ into these debates, and I just find it concerning.
But that's not data, my friend. That's just saying,
Okay.
based off the way I think he speaks, he should know, and I know he's different. So, I'm assuming, and this is just a guess. I can't say for certain, but I would guess that if Charlie Kirk was still alive and somebody came up and challenged him on these statistics, he would be able to defend. Which he would be able to defend his position on it. Now you're just saying that, well, he's clearly being dishonest and lying. You need to back that up.
Okay, well, I'll say this: I joined at a very, I guess, exposed point. I'm not in front of my so-called data center, to bring these supporting points up and facts to you right off the top of my head. I just came across your page and I just, kind of hopped in here. And what I don't have the proof per se to give to you, which would be kind of difficult to produce to show you that, hey, this guy was actually disingenuously presenting these ideas about the Black community. And yeah, showing you that particular proof. And actually, it'll be kind of difficult to do that, but I think I'll be up to the task to do such a thing. But what I would say too is that I just, and I didn't like him for this reason, because it wasn't like he brought up these statistics to actually solve the issue or whatever, because that when he
No,
brings
he brought up these statistics because they were specifically talking about affirmative action in that scenario. So they were specifically talking about Black communities, and that's a very good context to bring up these kind of statistics.
right, and even with affirmative action and DEI policies, I think he was disingenuous in saying that.
Okay, but you
first of all,
thinking is a pretty wild take. Like, I just feel like he was dishonest is not a good reason to conclude that somebody is dishonest.
well, fine. When he presented the idea, or he thinks the idea that Black families were better off before the Civil Rights Act was passed than they are off now, is kind of a, I feel like an oxymoron kind of thing. It's like people who didn't have the same rights as everyone else, or not everyone else, the general population under the Constitution, were better off now that they do have rights and are seen as equal.
What the hell are you talking about?
Is a bit insane to me. Like I said, he said that Black families were better off prior to the Civil Rights Act being passed
Where
back
did
in the
he say that?
1950s. This is another argument he presented in his Jubilee video, and other smaller debates he had going forward.
Because I've heard him say that there's a lot of good things in the Civil Rights Act that should be implemented. Like, he specifically said that he thinks that bringing equality to people is a good thing in the Civil Rights Act.
I
But
sent it to you on Facebook.
You sent it to me? Okay.
Although it's only
This shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000 Black men, women, and children were killed
so
in
if
violent lynch mobs.
If that's your explanation, but I guess
Racial terror permeated American culture for hundreds of years.
Black America is
You don't
worse than
think
it has been
that
in the last
affected
80 years.
the generational psyche of an entire group of people?
Well, I'm sure it did. I'm not discounting that. I'm just going to show.
Yeah, so even if I just take that clip out of its context, he's not saying what you're saying he's saying. Like,
What do you think he's saying?
he's just saying that Black families were doing better in general. He's not saying that they weren't suppressed. He's not saying that they weren't treated as equals. He's not saying any of those things. He's just saying statistically they were doing less crimes and their families were had more two-parent households. That's all. Like, I'm not even putting it in its context. If I just take it out of its context, he's definitely not saying Black people were better before they had equal rights.
Why do you think they might have been doing less crimes?
That's irrelevant. He's just saying that's a fact.
It is relevant, and I think at that point when you present something like that, yeah, it is a fact. Like, hey, Black people were doing less crimes in the 1940s.
Well, he's also saying that they had more families, like more family units, right?
But again, why do you think that was the case?
That dads weren't leaving the homes? I don't know. Why?
Probably because they didn't have equal rights. They had to kind of settle
What does
down.
equal rights have to do with the dad leaving the home?
Again, they had to settle down and kind of buckle in against the tyranny that was facing them along the way. The lynch mobs.
So you think dads were more present for their children because they were scared of white people?
I think that's one reason. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a wild take to
It's-
me.
How is that crazy or a wild
I'd be
take?
very curious to hear the psychology on why why fathers want to be more of a parent because they're scared of white people. That's the conclusion that you're coming to.
No, it's not the conclusion. It's the conclusion that you drew.
It kind of
That's what you said.
No, that's not what I said. You asked me, and I said that's one reason. Yes.
Yeah, so you're saying that dads are more parents because they're scared of white people. How am I getting that wrong?
Okay, that's one of many reasons. The socio-economical.
I'm not saying
situation.
it's the only reason. I'm saying they're more of a parent, right? You're saying if they weren't scared of white people, they'd be less of good fathers. That's the argument you're making. So your argument is more racist than my argument.
That is one element. How's that more racist? What are you talking about?
Because you're saying black people can't be good fathers without being scared of white
That's
people.
not what I'm saying. That's the same.
You're saying that is a factor.
That's the same idea as Charlie Kirk. It's the same tactic that Charlie Kirk levied.
That's literally a factor that you're providing. You're saying that they're going to be better fathers because they're being scared of white people. That's literally what you're saying.
You're trying to put you're trying to twist the narrative here and put words into my mouth. I didn't say that.
Okay, I'm gonna try to steelman your argument, and you tell me what I got wrong.
You don't have to steelman it. I could just tell you.
One of the things that Charlie Kirk said was that they'd be better off as they'd have like more parents in the house home back then. And you asked me what is one of the reasons I think that is. I said I don't know, and then you explained it as because they were afraid of the suppression that they were getting, so they had to fear. So they had to buckle down and get into it. So the logical conclusion there is that the fear of white people and their suppression made them be better fathers.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So what am I getting wrong then?
Okay, so in this instance, when you are a black person who existed, who lived in, well, first of all, my father, for example, born in 1964, was a lot closer to his family. One reason is because right after the Civil Rights Act was passed, they were a more closely knit family because they felt like they had to protect each other more from the societal fears of, well, needless to say, white people. White people would bully them, abuse them, him and his brothers, my uncles, along the way when they went to school. When I say buckle down, I just mean, hey, they felt the need to be more guarded.
Right, so they felt the need to be in their household?
Say again?
They felt the need to be in their household around their children?
They felt the need to provide more protection, you can't let...
Okay, be better fathers?
Again, I'm not saying that be better fathers. I'm saying being closer.
Who's a better father? The guy who leaves the guy who leaves the household and doesn't provide for the family, or the guy who stays in their household and provides for the family? Who's the better father?
No, you're providing two extreme examples. Again,
I'm just asking a question. Who's the better father?
And I'm answering it. And so society would dictate. Obviously, the person is not present.
I'm asking you who's the better father.
Obviously, the father that's not present more would likely.
Okay,
would
so
more than
your
likely
argument
be,
is they're present
better
more.
Father.
They're present more because they're not afraid of they're not as afraid, or sorry, they're less present now because they're not as afraid of like the racial divide or the racial pushes that are happening. Correct?
Well, I'll present another scenario to you to answer that question.
Just answer the question. Are they less present now, or were they more present then because they were afraid of white people?
That's not the only reason, but that's one factor.
Okay, so that is a factor. So then you are literally saying there is a factor that makes black people better dads is being scared of white people.
No. Not better. Present.
You just said it.
Is being present better or worse? You keep trying to put the better or worse.
Is a present father better than a non-present father?
More than likely.
Okay, so a present father is better.
But again,
therefore they're better.
I see what you're trying to do. You keep trying to whittle it down to this.
I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just coming
to
your logical
I gave you the
conclusion.
scenario. Well, let me present you with another logic here.
Okay.
If you grow up on the streets or an area that's more prone to violence, and you're more in a highly concentrated area that has a lot of violence that happens in your neighborhood or whatever, are you going to be more present and more aware of, hey, maybe my child shouldn't be out here?
I'm not disagreeing with you that if
that's the only thing I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. 100%, right? If you're scared of the community around you, you're probably going to gather into identity groups to be protected, to be more secure. But the problem with that is you're telling me that the reason that they're less present and being less of fathers is because they were afraid.
I'm saying that's one factor. Yeah.
Right. So a factor to being a good father in the black community, according to you.
No.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah, I see where you're going, but
it doesn't
go ahead.
matter if you see what I'm going. I'm going to finish.
Go ahead.
Okay. I've let you speak. A factor. It's not the only thing. I'm not talking about totality, but the fact that black men are less scared of going out in society now means they're less present at their homes. This is your argument, not my argument. This is what you're saying. This is not what I'm saying.
That's not what I'm saying, but go ahead.
But how is that not the logical conclusion? You literally told me that they are more present in the home back then because they were scared of white people. What did I get wrong?
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the safety factor.
Just answer the question. This is going to be a true dichotomy to see if you're being honest. Were black men more present in the home back then because they were scared of white people? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Being more present in the home is a better fatherly quality. Yes or no?
Yes.
So there is a quality that makes them better parents by just logical conclusion here is fear of white people.
That's a factor. Yes.
Okay. That's racist.
How is that racist?
Because you're saying that if black people were more scared of white people, they'd be better dads.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That is the logical conclusion.
No, you keep arriving there, and I'm not saying that.
I just went through the premises, and you agreed with the conclusion. You arrived there.
No, I didn't arrive there. Again, you keep arriving at the conclusion. You keep putting words in my mouth that I didn't say, or even alluding to.
Chat. Is that what he said, or is that not what he said? That is the logical conclusion out of his premises.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're employing the same tactics that, again, Charlie Kirk did.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that's wrong to say that. I'm saying it's wrong to say, hold on, that's not, you're trying to put me in that category now. I'm saying it's wrong to say that black people will be better parents because of fear of white people. That's a terrible
thing.
Again,
I'm not saying that.
But that is your logical conclusion.
You keep saying that. I'm not saying that.
That's your logical conclusion.
I'm saying that black fathers back then in the we're talking about prior to civil rights back in the 1950s and compared to today. I'm saying one of the factors, the reason why black fathers were closer to family and their children was because the safety factor. It wasn't safe for them to go outside and be on their own, so they had to be closer. You literally just said
they were closer to the children because they were afraid of white people.
Yes, because they were afraid of white people.
So that made them better fathers. Them being afraid of white people made them better fathers.
I'm saying they were a lot closer and present. That's all.
Being closer and present with your children is a good parental quality.
I'm not saying that they were better or worse, because in some cases, being close to your children for people end up being bad, end up being worse because they were abusive for one reason or another. But again,
there's no data that shows they were abusive back then.
You keep trying to whittle it down to me being racist, because I didn't say that. I didn't say they were black fathers were simply better because they were in fear of white people.
No, you're not saying those exact words, but that is your logical conclusion.
You're saying they're more.
No, it's not my.
They were scared.
It's not my logic.
You're saying black fathers are more present in households with their children because they were scared of white people.
No, I'm saying back in the 1950s.
Hold on, is that wrong? In the 50s? Yes or no? Hold on, just yes or no. In the 1950s, were black men more present in their households because of their fear of white people?
That's one factor, yes.
No, yes or no?
No, it's one factor.
No,
yes,
just yes or no.
Again, you keep trying to simplify.
It's a simple dichotomy.
You keep trying to simplify my position, and it's much more complicated than that.
Yes, that's fine. There's more nuance, and there's more things that are happening, and there's a whole bunch of lists of things. This is not. Again, I agreed with you. It's not a totality of things. It's just a conclusion. It's just a factor that may raise the meter. Might be this much, but it still raises the meter. Just a yes or no question. Were black men more present in their households because of fear of white people? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So then there's a quality that raises their ability to be a father.
No, yes? It's not their ability to raise and be present.
So hold on. Are you going to be a better father if you're in the household or if you're out of the household?
You're more than likely to be a better parent if you are present in your household.
Okay, so that raises the quality of them being better parents, yes?
Yes, the chances are.
Okay.
Yes.
So then logical conclusion is what you are saying is that the fear of white people made black
No,
people better
I don't.
parents.
I don't agree to. I don't agree. No.
Then you're an idiot.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we arrived at the name calling portion because we
But
don't
I'm
agree.
so, look, I'm not just trying to call you names. We went through each step together and we came to the conclusion together. And then when all I didn't change anything of what I just said. I just summarized it and then you said no. If you go through the premises yourself and then come to the conclusion yourself together as a team, and then I tell you, okay, well then that's the summary of it, and then you say no, by definition, you're an idiot.
No, you're trying again. You keep trying to simplify this down to what you're trying to push me into this corner, and I get the debate tactic, and that's fine.
It's not
And
a
that's
debate
okay.
tactic. It's just the
but
logical conclusion. I just thought it was wild that you said that.
It is absolutely a debate tactic because I said that's one of many factors. And again, I keep presenting the safety element of which a lot of black people weren't safe to go around in normal society because of the racist factor that was occurring back then. People were being lynched. Black people were being brutalized by white people. It's only a natural thing. It's only a natural thing to want to be more present to protect your family, to be present to protect your people from the normal society that
Right. So fear of
they
white
existed
people
in.
made them better parents.
Say again.
Fear of white people made them better parents,
Fear of white people made them more present parents.
which is a better quality.
Yes, absolutely.
So fear of white people made them better parents.
Not being present would have put those children and the rest of the family in a much worse situation.
Right. So
yes,
being afraid of white people made them better parents.
sure, yeah.
That's crazy. That's racist.
Wait. How is that racist?
Because you're saying that the fear of white people makes black people better parents, more present in the household. We just went through the statistics, right? So it's way higher that black men are not present in the household with their children, and you're saying for them to be better parents, they need to be scared of white people.
No, that's not what I'm
crazy,
saying.
man.
You keep arriving at that
saying that
conclusion, and that's not what I'm
The
saying.
only reason they were present, or not the only reason, I guess, but a large reason was because they were scared. That's it.
No,
So
I
now-
didn't.
now
I didn't
that
say
they're
a
not
large.
scared of white
I
people,
didn't. I
they're
didn't
not
say a
present.
large or. I didn't say a large or only reason. I said that was a factor in the reasons why those families were closer because they were absolutely scared of white people.
Wild.
How was
Well,
that wild?
we keep going full circle because you
are-
keep
are-
admitting it's
yeah,
true,
are-
and then you keep
are-
saying
are
it's
you-
not
are-
true. So are you going to add
you
anything
think-
new to the
He's
argument?
been voted off, by the
He's
way.
been voted
Yeah,
off?
I'll just ask. I'll just ask
You've
this
been
question.
voted off
Do you
the
think-
island, my friend. I appreciate
No.
your time. God bless.
Adios.
Adios.
But that's
mi hermano.
exactly what happens in the video too. Is he goes, they were committing less crimes back then. And she goes, well, why do you think that is? Because of slavery, and that implies that the only reason they weren't committing crimes is because they were in slavery. I'm like, well, if there's no slavery, then they're gonna commit crimes.
Yeah,
That's racist.
That's a more wild take to me. It's like, yeah, they were committing less crimes back then. Well, why weren't they committing crimes? Because, well, they were afraid of white people. Like if the only thing that's stopping you from being a good parent, and again, I don't think this is the case. I really don't. But I'm just saying, if the only thing that's stopping you from being a good parent or not committing crimes is your fear of white people, that's racism, man. That's a wild take to say. This guy came up first, I think. Next, no. Okay, let's move on. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Hillary, I think. Yeah, Hillary. Hillary Marie Saldafia. I can hear you, so I know you can hear me. Okay, God bless. Let's try one of these ones. Captain Slowboy. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hi there. I'm 33.
All right, man. Why did you hate Charlie Kirk?
I think Charlie Kirk was great on all the issues, but I hate that he let his wife in Turning Point USA murder him.
Yeah, we're just not going to
Bye.
engage in that one. That just sounds like some crazy conspiracy thing. Markovi, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How old are you?
Can you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear
I
me?
can hear. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. I am 39.
All right, man.
What's up for it?
Why did you hate Charlie Kirk?
Not more like hate. I just have a distaste for his ideology.
Okay. Why did you have a distaste for his ideologues?
Well, the way I look at it, his whole idea of trying to draw attention and his concept of how he was doing it was, to me, completely wrong. I feel like if he wanted to pay attention to anything, he should have paid attention to his own community's problems.
What do you mean? I don't understand your contention.
Simple. If he had any kind of issue, he should have fixed what's the issue in his own community. For example, worrying about the black community and the black family structure. The black family structure has been the issue for the black community for the longest, and that's something that we got to resolve ourselves. We didn't need third outside party input.
So we're different?
Yes, very different.
That's racist.
It is what it is.
So you're racist?
Like, tell me it's racist. You can say you can call it whatever you want, but
Well, you're saying
we're
you're saying black people and white people are not the same. That's racist.
because we're not the same culture.
So
You wouldn't say that.
you keep cutting in and out because we're not the same what?
I said we don't have the same upbringing culturally. Would you
Well,
think that you're the same?
So hold on. Every black person has the same cultural upbringing?
Generally,
Okay, so if I, for example, if I adopt a black child and I raise that black child in my home, is that black child culturally different than me?
you're not raising a black child in black culture. You're white.
Well, I'm just saying, would that child be culturally different than me?
You're not raising a black child in black culture. You're white. You're raising them in white culture.
Yeah, but you're not answering my question. You're just kind of stating some things that are happening. If I raise a black child in my household, and I adopt a black child and I raise them in my household, are they different than me, or are we the same?
Sir, that's irrelevant to culture.
Well, I'm
You're
testing your consistency. I'm testing your epistemology. I'm
you're-
testing
what you're
how you
trying to-
come to
what you're trying-
conclusions. Would they be different than me?
Sir, if you're raising them in your household, you're raising them in your culture. They wouldn't be different.
Okay,
That's
so
your culture.
okay, so there's nothing that actually makes a black person and a white person different then.
I never said there was. I
Okay,
said
so we're not
culture.
different.
So you're still going on a relevant rant. This is
But
not
we're
about
not different.
culture.
You originally
Talk
said
about-
we were different, but now you're concluding we're not different, which I agree, we're not different. You and I are the same, we're equals.
However you feel, yes. But the thing is this:
But you don't
like I
think
said
we're
before,
equal?
the difference culture.
Hold on, do you think we're equal?
No,
Okay, who's more superior, me or you?
now you're just making it a physical thing or a conceptual
You
concept.
said
thing.
we're
It's
not
about.
equal. We're not equal. Who's more superior, me or you?
Or just
I'm
how
asking
are you, how are
whose
you
genetics
not-
is denser, mine or yours?
Who's what?
Whose genetics is more denser, mine or yours?
Denser? What does that mean? Hello? You still there? Markovi. Markovi. Oh, there you are. No, I lost you. So what do you mean more denser?
You asked about who's being superior, so I asked you whose genetic structure is more denser, mine or yours?
What do you mean by denser? What does that mean?
Denser. Whose molecular structure is more sturdy?
What does that mean though?
You asked about superiority, right? So I'm asking you whose genetic structure is more denser, mine or yours?
But what does denser mean? Like, what do you mean when you say that? I have no clue what you're talking about. You're just repeating the same thing over and over again, but you're not elaborating on it.
Sturdier, stronger, harder.
Sturdier, stronger, harder?
Yes.
Well, I think when we look at things like
Bro
the
has that plutonium DNA.
I don't know what that means. I think when we look at things like the UFC and we see like the division of like who beats who, I would say that we're pretty equal. It depends on your training and your specific genetics.
That's irrelevant to the question, though. You
That
asked
is
who's
relevant. I just said we're pretty equal, like because it's going to be based off an individual. So, for example, there are black people that I am more like sturdier than, and then there's black people who are more sturdier than me. So,
is not the same because that's
what
not
do you
true.
mean?
Even if you feel like you're
It is
more
true.
sturdier than, you're not.
It is true.
Because you may look at them and think that
So
you're
you're
the
saying
same,
black
but
people are more superior than white people?
I'm calling a spade a spade.
So you're saying black? Just say yes or no. Are black people more superior than white people?
Yes.
Okay, you're racist.
Yes. We've established that already. You said it earlier.
Okay, so we got a racist. So then then at the end of the day, with no due respect, I don't give a fuck what you think about Charlie Kirk. You just admitted you don't like an entire race.
Exactly. Being exactly what I expect you a racist.
What's that?
I said you're being exactly what I expect you to be, a racist.
You just admitted you're a racist, and I said I don't like you because you're a racist, and now I'm a racist?
Yeah, you're a racist too.
How am I a racist? I said we're equal.
Right. And if we're equal, that makes you a racist too.
How does that make me a racist if we're equal?
Because we're equal.
We
Right?
don't-
You just
no,
said, right?
We're not.
We're equal.
You're not. You don't just have all the traits that you have. We're equal in value. We're not equal in personality. So, sir, my racist friend,
How am I a racist?
how are you a racist? How are you not a racist?
Because I think that people from every different race are all equal.
That makes you a racist
How does that make me a racist?
because
This is
you're
gotta be a
assuming
troll.
they're all equal. You put an assumption on it.
I'm not assuming. I'm not assuming.
No,
We
listen,
have
listen.
data. We have data that says they're equal.
Think about
Right?
this,
For
right?
example,
You
for example,
feel
IQ tests. There is no factor. There's no race factor that shows whether you're going to have a higher IQ or a lower IQ. Physical strength
This-
tests. There's no race factor that's going to show you're going to be physically or less stronger. Maybe better at basketball. Like I can give, hey, like black people tend to be better at basketball. But is that because of a race or a culture? Right? Because in their culture, it seems to be the sport that they gravitate towards. I actually think the UFC. I think the hold on. I think the UFC is actually a pretty good measurement because in the UFC you have people from all different races and culture, and from people from all different races and culture race to be champions. And you can't just be a brute in the UFC. It requires a good amount of intelligence. It counts a good amount of physicality, a good amount of genetics, a good amount of training, a good amount of discipline. There's a whole bunch of things that you have to factor in. And considering the fact that we again have champions all around the world from all different races, it seems to be the fact that we're pretty equal.
You would feel that way. I would tend to disagree.
That's not an argument.
Well, I'll give you the argument then.
Okay.
How many times have a white belt?
How many
And
times?
for how many years?
You keep cutting off.
How many times has a white champion held the belt, and for how many years?
For the UFC?
Yeah.
GSP held it for quite some time. Conor McGregor was a double champion. What's his name right now? The guy with the rose. What's the guy with the rose's name?
I don't know.
He's like the boxer. He's destroying Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria be another one who's a current champion. He's undefeated. So
How many years?
I don't know the exact years, but considering that Ilia Topuria never lost a fight in his entire UFC career.
All right. So we have a measure. You would take those statistics and you would compare them to
Then
all
you got
the
Nurmagomedov as well.
So we would take those same statistics, we will hold it to their measurements for how long they've held the belt for and how many fights they've had versus the black fighters and how long they've held the belt for and how many years.
But
Now,
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter if you have. I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain why that doesn't matter. Let me explain why that doesn't matter. I'm
superiority?
gonna explain why that doesn't matter. You're either gonna let me or we gotta move on. So the reason that that doesn't matter is because if you have white people who are dominating black people in the division, and you have black people that are dominating white people, then you don't really have a factor to say that one is better than the other, do you?
Yes, you do.
Did
Because
you
the
do a
thing is,
vote?
you can't offset one person and say that it's a whole group. For example, if McGregor fought only, let's say, in his 135 bouts,
If he fought who?
he fought 2 out of the 135 bouts, 2 of them were black, and those were his 2 losses. You wouldn't call him superior because out of all his 135 matches, the 2 bouts he lost were 2 black dudes. Therefore, he's not superior.
He's
Correct?
All right, you've been voted off the island, man. Appreciate your time. God bless.
These people got, like, they make me, like, if you read my Google searches, you'd be like, this is the biggest race ever, because now he's got me trying to figure out how like, the division of belts across races.
Hold on. Let's see if ChatGPT can actually look up that data. They don't even record the race.
Almost like they're not racist. They list them by country.
Okay, we'll see which nationality wins more.
Oh, America.
America wins
I already-
more.
yeah, I
Okay,
found that out,
but
that
doesn't
doesn't tell you much.
answer the question. Brazil is second.
Like I could look.
Wait. I just curious. Hold on. If Brazil, because people who fight from Brazil are genuinely Brazilian. I should have kept them up because now I want to ask this question. Does that make Brazilians genetically superior than black people?
This is why we need our friend. I bet he'd be able to tell us.
Oh yeah, Ty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He slipped back in. Hold on, bro. I'm gonna get you up in a second. I'm just gonna mute you for 2 seconds. I just want to answer that question. Answer that question.
Are you talking to me?
Oh, you're not him. How did you get in here? All right, bro. I invited you to unmute yourself there, Hector. Sorry about that. Sorry, sir. Just real quick. How old are you?
I'm 23.
All right, bro. Why did you hate Charlie Kirk?
I wouldn't say hate. I disagree with a lot of things he said. I don't really think the way he's like being like martyred. I don't really understand. He was like a podcaster. I don't know why he gets all this notoriety. But
What does his job have to do with anything?
well, importance, legacy. I don't think he should be like being plastered in mega churches.
Like for example, I'm sorry, slipping. Who's the lady who sat on the bus and refused to switch seats?
Rosa Parks.
Yeah, Rosa Parks. Because of
So
her job. Hold on,
like,
just real quick.
just like-
Hold on. Just let me answer the question. Should we not hold Rosa Parks up to the standard that she's held to because of the career that she had at the time?
I think it's disanalogous.
Why is it disanalogous? You're literally saying we shouldn't hold Charlie Kirk to a standard that we're holding to him because he was a podcaster. Why?
Because Rosa Parks didn't meet the president and have the president attend her funeral.
What
That's
difference does that
why.
make?
Huh?
What difference does that make?
It's all the difference. It's showing how he was literally plasterizing men to.
If anything, meeting the president just shows that he had great influence.
But I really don't think he had great influence.
Well, then how did he meet the president?
I mean, this is just because we have different opinions of like the president and his his status.
If he didn't influence enough people in the world, how did he meet the president? As a matter of fact, one of the things that
No, I'm
people
not saying he
talk
didn't
about.
influence people. I don't think his influence
So then he
was
had great
good.
influence.
I don't think his influence. I'm saying great in the terms of like, morally great.
Yeah, but he still had an influence on the world, right? You're just saying we shouldn't hold him to a high standard because he was a podcaster. What was Rosa Parks? What was her job?
I'm not sure.
But we hold her to a high standard. So
Yeah,
what
'cause
does so then job?
Because here's the thing.
Hold on. I'll let you speak. I
You're
promise.
strawmanning the
promise you
argument.
will. I promise I will let you speak. Job is completely irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, then continue.
But you're comparing oranges to apples. Rosa Parks
Why
was,
can't you compare oranges and apples?
because we're in a discussion about apples and you're trying to shoe oranges when oranges don't have anything to do with the apples.
They're both fruits. They're both circular. They both have vitamins. They're both good part. Like if you're going to eat apples, then you don't like apples, you can introduce oranges to get a certain vitamin intake. I don't understand why you can't compare the two.
Well, we can compare them, but right now we're analyzing an orange. So to put an apple in it wouldn't really, cater to the discussion that we're having
comparing
now.
two humans that had cultural influence.
Yes, this is okay. But we're discussing how one's was positive and one was negative.
Yeah, we haven't even got to that point. You just said he's just a podcaster, so therefore I don't like it. But that's completely irrelevant.
See, that's
we
a
agree
straw
that
man
job.
argument.
We agree that
If you look at
job
the
is
original
completely
clip of
irrelevant.
what I
right?
said, that's
Hold
not what
on.
I said.
Yeah, that is what you said. You literally
No,
said
it's not.
that I don't understand why we're martyring Charlie Kirk. He was just a podcaster. That is what you said.
Yes, but that's not what you said originally.
That is what you said. And then I
Yeah.
started arguing about the status of Job. I'm not arguing about whether he was a good person or whether he did
But
bad things.
that's not where
I haven't
that's
got to
not
that
where
point.
my
I haven't even got to that
argument was.
point. All I'm concluding is that Job is completely irrelevant.
But here's the thing. That's not what I was like. That's not what my opposing position was.
Then what is your opposing position?
Essentially, I'm saying the way that he's being put on a pedestal is similar to, it's even more than Rosa Parks. And Rosa Parks, argue all you want, she had a way, way more positive and greater influence on society for what she stood for and what she was standing for at the time than what Charlie Kirk did. Charlie Kirk wasn't, trying to stand for anybody's rights.
Okay, hold on. Before you shift to the topic, is it possible that even if Rosa Parks had a greater influence, the reason that we talking about Charlie Kirk more now is because it happened 3 weeks ago?
Recency bias, yeah.
Okay, so then bringing up the fact that we're talking about Charlie Kirk more now than Rosa Parks is irrelevant.
But you're the one who brought in Rosa Parks.
I brought in Rosa Parks specifically to show you that Job doesn't matter. I'm not saying we're not doing a Rosa Parks to Charlie Kirk comparison. Unless you want to, we can do that. But
No.
all I brought in Rosa Parks for was to show you that job title is completely irrelevant to whether or not somebody should be considered a high person in society.
Okay, but if the reason why they're thought of high in society was specifically for that job, for their job that they were doing, I think it becomes a different animal.
Why?
Because yes, you can't. The argument of someone that is their legacy matters, what their job was, is not what I'm harping on. But I am harping on the matter that his whole legacy is specifically because of what his job was. So at his core value,
Okay.
no. Someone's legacy isn't defined just on what their job is.
Yeah,
but
but
Charlie
you're just
Kirk's
stating
legacy
it was his
specifically-
job. You're
Hold
not
on,
giving
hold
me a
on. I'll
reason.
let you
You're not giving
finish.
me a reason why
Okay.
the job nullifies what he did. Go ahead.
So, what's the rules on interrupting?
Interrupt as much as you want, but I'll interrupt you back.
But that's the thing. I'm not trying to interrupt you, and you're interrupting me. So I feel like that's a
Because
little
you're not
unfair.
answering the actual question. And I have to interrupt people when they don't stay on
I am
topic.
answering the
I promise
question.
you I don't interrupt people when they actually address the topic.
In what way was
What?
I not addressing the
So
topic?
how does the job specifically nullify his impact?
I'm not. See, that's what I'm saying. You're straw manning my argument. And if you would have let me finish, I feel like you would have
Okay.
understood what my whole argument was.
If it doesn't nullify, why are you bringing it up?
I'm saying it nullifies because
Okay.
Charlie Kirk.
Oh, okay. No, you just said it wasn't. So does it or does it nullify it?
That's the thing. You're like I said, you're straw manning my argument.
I'm not straw manning your argument. To straw man your argument, I would be representing your argument. I would be saying this is your argument. That's how I have straw man. That's not it's me asking you clarifying questions is not straw manning. It's me trying to understand
you can't
what
say
you're
you
saying.
ask me a clarifying question, but then when I try to clarify, you don't let me.
It's a simple because I'm answering a true dichotomy question. Does his job nullify his impact?
In this specific case, yes.
Oh, okay.
In this
Now, okay,
specific
fine.
case.
This specific case. Now I want you to answer that without special pleading. Go ahead.
How am I special pleading?
I didn't say you were. I said I want you to answer how this specific case it nullifies his impact without special pleading. Because I'm very curious how you can give the case where Charlie Kirk's job nullifies his impact, but other people's jobs don't.
Because his legacy was built on the fact that he spread negativity, and that was his job. If someone else's, and that's the other thing too, Rosa Parks, her legacy wasn't built upon her job. Charlie Kirk's only legacy was built upon her job, or upon his job.
Okay, so podcaster, by definition, is spreading negativity?
Charlie Kirk as a podcaster, yeah.
Is the definition of podcasting
No.
to spread negativity?
Well, I mean,
So-
it's an umbrella term. It could be.
By definition, is podcasting to spread negativity?
It's like I said, it's an umbrella term.
By definition, is a podcaster's job to spread negativity?
It could be. There's like that's you can't just
I'm
say.
not asking if they can or cannot do it. I'm asking, is that the job
That's the thing.
criteria of a podcaster?
That's not a lot. That question. It doesn't make sense.
It does make sense. I'm going to explain why it makes sense. Because if the definition of podcasting is not to spread negativity,
That's like me asking. If
hold on.
definition
You
of
asked me a
surgeon
question. You asked me a
is to-
question. Let me
is to
finish.
kill people?
Let me finish the question. Finish the answer. So, if by definition podcasting is not to spread negativity, and let's say, for example, Charlie Kirk said all the things that you loved all the things that he said, and he was still a podcaster, you wouldn't bring up the fact that he was a podcaster, would you?
I probably would.
So if Charlie Kirk was going out there saying everything that you agree with, advocating for all the things, got all your politicians that you loved into office, he's doing all the right things, you would say, we shouldn't care. He was just a podcaster. Because podcasting by definition spreads negativity.
It's not. That's not what I'm saying. See, the question you're asking for a specific definition on an umbrella term. But in reality,
It doesn't matter if it's an umbrella term. If it's not a specific term, doesn't matter if it's an umbrella term, right? Because you're saying podcasting, he spread negativity as a podcaster, therefore his job counts, right? Is it his job or is it the fact that he spread negativity?
He spread negativity. That's the thing, though. They're not two
Hold on,
separate.
just one sec.
They're not two.
Just one sec.
John's lives have shown me that the inability to answer questions is not only a universal trait exclusive to Muslims. It is in fact shared by more of the population than we previously believed. More research must be conducted.
True. Okay. So again, is it the fact that he was just talking negatively or was it his job? Excuse me.
I think they're one and the same. I don't think it's either or. I think it's one and the same.
Can somebody be a podcaster and not talk negatively?
Yes.
Okay, so how is being a podcaster and speaking negatively one and the same?
because like I said, it's an umbrella term. You could.
Okay, so then it's not one and the same?
It is. Okay, do you know what an umbrella term is? It means
Yeah,
it's
an
it's
umbrella
a.
term means it encapsulates many different definitions, so it's not one and the same. Because speaking negatively is not an umbrella term, is it?
Well, no,
So then it's not one and the same, is it?
but okay, but podcasting is not just speaking negative. Yeah,
Okay, so they're not one and the same. So again, his job is completely irrelevant to this. It's the fact that he said things you don't like.
no.
So your whole argument would have been, listen, here, you
No,
would
it's
sound less,
not.
hold on, your whole argument would have been better if you just would have came in and said, I don't like Charlie Kirk because he said negative things. But instead you're saying, we shouldn't have put him on a pedestal because he's a podcaster. Except you would
Yeah.
absolutely put other people on pedestals.
I wouldn't.
Relevant
no,
of their job.
If Logan Paul died.
Hold on.
and he had a
Irrelevant
funeral where
of
it
their
was a
job.
UFC
You would
match,
absolutely
and-
put people on pedestals irrelevant of their job if they advocate and preached for things that you loved.
That's not true. And
Really? What's Rosa Parks' job?
Oh my gosh.
What's Rosa Parks' job?
I'm not sure.
So you don't even know her job, but yet you would say that she was somebody who did something great and wonderful and we should put on a pedestal, right?
Well, that's the thing, though. That's why it's disanalogous to Charlie Kirk, because she wasn't put on a pedestal for her job. However, Charlie Kirk was. That's why I'm like, I don't get how you don't understand this.
Charlie Kirk wasn't put on a pedestal for being a podcaster. They didn't say, oh my God, we're going to put him up there for being a podcaster. He's put on a pedestal for his influence, and he used his podcasting ability to do that influence.
AKA,
Just like how a police officer
job.
just like how a police officer can do something heroic in the means of their job, it doesn't make it any less heroic, correct?
I think it does make it more heroic, because you see
It
a
doesn't
lot
make it any less heroic.
Oh no.
Right. So just because, it wouldn't be any less heroic just because they're a police officer and that's part of their job.
I mean, but there's still like cases where like police officers aren't doing their job correctly, though.
Yeah, no shit,
Yeah.
Sherlock. That's irrelevant to what I said.
I don't think it. Okay. I don't think it is.
Yeah, because you're not tracking.
I don't think that's the thing. I don't think you've been tracking what I've been saying this whole time.
I completely understand. I could steel man it. Do you want me to steel man it?
No, that's
Never. No one ever wants to, because I do listen to what people are saying and I do track the arguments. I just point out how stupid it is.
But that's the thing. I literally proved to you how it wasn't, and how you're using like umbrella terms when you're trying to get a specific definition out of one.
You said they're one and the same, but one's an umbrella term and one's specific. By that definition, they're not one and the same, are they?
Yes. What do you mean?
If one's an umbrella term and one's a specific term, they're not one and the same, are they?
No, it's like when you think of feminism and you think, okay, well, if feminism, that means it's only women's rights. But no, it's about men's rights. It's about human rights.
Have you taken drugs today?
Everything
Yeah, I took
means
ibuprofen.
everything.
I'm sorry, what?
So yeah, I took some ibuprofen and some Tylenol.
The autism is strong. Yeah, I don't know how you're not tracking this. So again, I'm just going to move on to the next point because this is completely insane and ridiculous. Why didn't you like Charlie Kirk?
I don't like his ideals against MLK. Don't like what he said about.
Okay, what was it about MLK that he said that you don't like?
Like, okay, I don't like how he said how MLK wasn't a good person.
Okay, why did he say that he wasn't a good person?
He said it was about the Civil Rights Act of 1964. About it was a huge mistake.
So he said MLK is a bad person for writing the Civil Rights Act?
No. For like his progression towards the Civil Rights Act being.
Okay, you're bringing up two different arguments. So why did he say MLK was a bad person?
I thought it was because MLK's how he accelerated the progression towards the Civil Rights Act of
Okay,
1964.
great. Can you show me a quote from Charlie Kirk that brings up anything remotely close to that?
Oh, I thought that was the context.
I'm not asking. I'm not asking you to put it in context. I've never seen Charlie Kirk say that I don't like MLK for pushing the Civil Rights Act. So I could be wrong, and I'm willing to admit that. So can you show me Charlie Kirk saying that?
I don't have a YouTube clip. I was under the impression that's why he said that.
Why he said what?
It's not about the Civil Rights Act. That was
Yeah.
So you dislike somebody for something that you didn't even look into to see if he actually said it?
I did. I mean, it was something that wasn't. There's like no videos of it. There's just only like articles about it. So that's only what I could trust.
Okay, so you dislike somebody for saying something you don't even know he said.
Well, there's multiple reports that he did say this.
Okay, give me a report where he said that.
Yeah, there's one on factcheck.org, Wired.
Okay, so if I search up Charlie Kirk didn't like MLK for promoting Civil Rights Act fact.org. That I'll just do fact check. I'll just do fact check. That's going to come up. Okay. All that came up, it says he called Martin Luther King awful. Conservative commentator Charlie Kirk was finally pew-pewed. In aftermath, social media users shared a quote in his conversation of Prudent Report said civil rights icon Martin Luther King wasn't a... Hold on.
He disliked MLK because MLK cheated on his wife with a bunch of hook. He was not the role model that people think he was.
Yep, that's what I read, but I'm gonna see if what you say is true. A tribute to the following words in Kirk: MLK was awful. He's not a good person. He said one good thing he actually didn't believe. Snopes also received reader inquiries of the authenticity of the alleged quote. Journalist William Turner first reported Kirk comment in January 2024, article Wired. According to his report, Kirk made a statement while speaking to America Fest, a political conservative organization by Turning Point USA, December 2023. Kirk was responding to a question from a student who said he was the subject of a Title IX investigation at his university after posting a derogatory message about transgender people on social media. Kirk noted how the student had been kicked out of school under Title IX complaint. Student who attended the event provided an audio recording to Snopes, which verified what Kirk said. Student got kicked out of school, Title IX complaint using the Civil Rights Act, that he was, that we as a conservatives worship. Oh, MLK is a great guy. Actually, MLK was awful. Okay, he's not a good person. He said one good thing he actually didn't believe. Go research MLK. You should go research him. Kirk claimed the federal government was coming after students' free speech using mid-1960s Civil Rights Act that was passed with good intentions as now a permanent diversity, equality, and inclusive type of bureaucracy. During the same event, Kirk said, I have very, very radical views on this, but I can defend it, and I've thought about it. We've made a huge mistake when passing the Civil Rights Act in mid-1960s. Kirk was referring to the landmark federal law ban discrimination in public places, which provided for integration of schools and other public places, which made employment discrimination illegal. Title X prohibits discrimination, and on and on. So again, where does he say that he did not like MLK for pushing the Civil Rights Act?
Oh no, he didn't. Well, in a nutshell,
So why don't you like Charlie Kirk?
Because he said MLK was awful.
Okay, why did he say MLK was awful?
He said MLK was awful because he cheated on his wife.
Well, he cheated on his wife with a bunch of hookers, and he was an active member of the Socialist Party, and the Socialist Party was putting implementing ideas into his head. And he's also like heavy into alcoholism and drug use, according to the, from what I've studied, the CIA reports and the FBI reports on him. So he didn't think he was a good person overall. He also made some comments about how he would try to implement certain laws that went his direction. So he's not saying that the totality of everything that MLK stood for and did was wrong. He's just saying him as an individual was a bad person.
Yeah, but I don't get how he could say that about Martin Luther King, someone who's had such positive influence on the world, but then like turn a blind eye to the same essentially sins that the president has that he advocates so much for.
Yeah, he's not. I don't say turn the blind eye into it. Do you know how Christians view repentance?
Yeah,
How do Christians view repentance?
that you're forgiven through Christ and His blood.
No. So repentance is that if you change your mind on something and you act in a different way, you're no longer held to the standard that you used to be. You're held to the standard that you are now. So if Trump did these terrible things in the past, which they're all indictments, nothing's been really proven. If he no longer acts in that way, then he should be forgiven. And that's the whole point. Charlie Kirk was a Christian. MLK never showed any repentance towards these things that we know of.
He was a pastor. What do you mean he didn't show repentance?
Hold
And
on. Being a pastor is completely irrelevant. There are pastors out there who have diddled little boys. Do you say that just because they're a pastor, they've repented?
Yeah, well, not all of them, but under these guidelines, yeah, they could change.
Yeah, 100% they could change. Can you show me any evidence that MLK repented from cheating on his wife and drug abuse and obviously can't
Yeah,
repent to being part of the Socialist Party and stuff like that?
yeah.
Okay.
Here, I could pull up a source. But if I do this, are you going to agree with me that this Charlie Kirk point was a reason why to dislike him?
No, even if this is true, I wouldn't say this is a reason to dislike him. I'd say that he's being a bit of a hypocrite and he should have shaped up a little bit here. I'd say that's some correction that he could have done in his life, because somebody being perfect doesn't, like, we don't hold people to being a standard of being perfect. And this is a comment in a debate. Like, he didn't make his career on taking down MLK.
No, but I mean it's still like a really horrible thing to say.
I'll say it. MLK, based off those standards, is a bad person. Am I a terrible person for saying that?
If you flip the script 180 and then support a person who does the same lifestyle and or acts worse than that,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a bit of a hypocritical thing, but you have to show me that Charlie Kirk believed that both Trump and MLK were doing these things. That's a burden of proof you have to hold.
Oh, I could show you. Yeah, I mean, Trump was best friends with Epstein.
Okay.
I mean, so being best friends with someone who is known for diddling children.
I was literally friends with a guy who was sent to jail for graping his daughter. Does that mean I graped daughters?
Well, did you tell him good luck in his trial prison or in his trial?
I prayed for him, and I hope that he come to the knowledge of repentance. Now the thing is,
Well, hold
what
on,
you're
hold on.
saying.
That's
Hold
not
on,
what I
hold on,
had.
hold on.
You're dodging the question.
Which question am I dodging?
Did you tell your best friend when he
I
was
didn't
in
say he was my
trial,
best
good
friend. I
luck?
said he was a friend.
You're right. My apologies. That's on me. Did you tell your friend good luck in his trial against those acts against his daughter?
I didn't tell him anything because he was just in jail when I heard of it.
Okay. Well, then that's why it's not the same, because
Okay,
Trump,
so
Epstein.
Charlie Kirk
Hold
told
hold
who
on,
what
hold on,
the
hold
good
on,
luck in
hold on,
trial?
hold on. Trump told Epstein
Uh-huh.
and he wished him good luck in his trial for those atrocious crimes
Was
that he was there
Trump aware
for.
that Epstein was guilty at the time?
Yes.
How do you know that?
He went to his what's it called? His island.
Okay.
He's on the list. That's why do you believe that Trump is on the list?
I don't
Are you one of
know.
those
We're
people?
waiting for that to be revealed. I want to
Oh.
know.
You want to? So that doesn't make it.
But hold
Dude,
on.
this is willful
You're
ignorance.
you're
Even for you,
jumping
a bright guy,
off
there's
to.
no way you're on this side.
Hold on, you're jumping to another point. So, let me give you the actual example here. My friend who is really in jail right now, I wouldn't call him a friend anymore, but my former friend who is in jail right now for molesting his own daughter when all that information came out that he was doing that he was molesting his daughter, he came up and had a conversation with a whole bunch of us, right? Because he was a public debater, like I was a public debater, and he swore up and down, he advocated that all these things were false, and that he was going to fight it, and that this was just his ex-wife coming at him and trying to bring him down because she didn't like her. He was doing all these things, and we believed him. We were wrong to believe him, but we believed him. Because we believed him, we wanted good things. We wanted the truth to come out. Does that mean that we supported him sleeping with his daughter when the truth actually came out?
No.
Right. So you need to show me that you know for certainty that Trump was 100% aware of all the things Epstein done before he wished him good luck in trial.
Because he's not, there's a reason why he's not releasing the list. It's because he knows he's
Okay,
been
so
cowardly.
guilty
He
until
knows
proven
his
innocent.
friend.
Guilty until
Huh?
proven innocent. Is that your standard? Guilty until proven innocent?
Yeah, in this case, yeah, that's
So
the biggest.
guilty until
that's
proven
the-
innocent.
this-
So you're going
this
to
would
change
be
the entire.
biggest thing, yeah.
You want to change the entire United States law to hold the standard of guilty until proven innocent.
If it releases the Epstein list, I'm
Yes,
willing
I
to do
think they
that.
should release the Epstein list, and I think that's something that should be put out, and we should know about it. But even if they release the Epstein list, and we find out that Trump is this terrible person, I'll agree with you. Throw Trump in jail. Do it 100% if it says that he was on the Epstein list and he was doing these terrible things. That still doesn't necessarily follow that Charlie Kirk also knew about all these things and is a terrible person.
Okay, I can concede to that.
Fair.
Okay, that's fair. I can
Okay.
I'll concede. I concede to that. Also, do you want this source for MLK repenting?
Yeah.
It's on the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. You might not have access to it.
That wouldn't be on the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. That's not what Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy does.
Yeah, there's a detailed overview of it. It's like in a book. Because
But that's not what Stanford Encyclopedia. And Stanford Encyclopedia gives you definitions of philosophical concepts. I use that website all the time, at least once a week. So there's a summary of his life and his theology and his philosophies. Where am I going to find on this page him specifically repenting for all the things that he was doing?
Page. Whoa, not page. Mine. I have links for mine.
Abby, were you going to say something?
Trump didn't wish Epstein good luck.
What did he say?
He wished Ghislaine Maxwell well when she was first arrested and before she was convicted.
Okay, so there's that thing.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I thought, You're right. You didn't say that. You just said he was a terrific guy.
I also said that my friend who raped his daughter was a good guy because he was a Muslim, and I was under the impression that he was like one of the more honest Muslims that I spoke to, genuine. He's one of the ones I had no problem having debates with and conversations with or just chatting with. So am I also a terrible person for saying that he was a good guy?
No.
Okay, so you got to stay consistent here, man.
All right.
The whole thing is like if Trump said all these things, and we know for certain that Trump was aware of all the things that Epstein did, then we can 100% say that Trump is a terrible person. And I say release the files because that'd be evidence towards that. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But I'm not under the impression that we should label people as guilty first. Right? We should always, it's always innocent until proven guilty. That's the way it's been, at least in the United. It's not in Canada where I am. But that's the way it's been in the United States since before I can remember. Innocent until proven guilty. Let's see the data. Let's see the information. Let's see if he's actually guilty. Let's not just make accusations and say that they're true without actual proof.
That's fair. You know, in this context, yeah. So there's like accounts. It was like daughters and like former nieces and nephews accounting to him, talking about him repenting for his sins. Not like specifically saying that, but addressing those.
Okay.
For like his scandalous life, but none like him specifically like saying any of these.
Okay. And so then you'd have to show that Charlie Kirk was also aware of his family talking about his repentance.
Well, why? But that's the thing. How can you say that, but then like not do even more? So you can do all the research to put down the man, but you can't do a little more research to show that he apologized for these.
Well, I'm trying to find
Well,
that too.
you,
Trying to find
all
that.
three of us just spent time looking for it, and we could barely find anything. You're just saying there's some vague references to his family bringing it up.
Like, I mean, if you have a public platform, you should cover all areas before you say something like that.
Right. So your reason to dislike somebody is because they missed something.
That's a very, very strong man of my argument.
But that's what you're saying. You're saying he has a responsibility to make sure he knows everything that he speaks of at all times.
I think all public speakers, yeah, they do.
That's
a
crazy standard to hold upon people, especially somebody who has a public debate platform where he doesn't know the subject that people are going to come up to.
I don't really think it is. I mean, yeah, research what you say.
He did research. You're saying that if he missed
clearly
something,
didn't. He
if he clearly didn't, show me the part where he repented. Then
I just kind of did.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You said, I think that his kid said that somewhere, but I can't find it.
No, I'm saying I just saw reports of these.
Where?
Well, I have some Instagram links for his nephew, or no, it's not his niece.
So an Instagram post by his nephew?
Niece.
His niece.
Yeah.
So an Instagram post by his niece. What did his niece say?
She just addresses the, her being with, can I say the H word?
What's the H word?
Hoker.
Spell it again.
Hooker.
She addresses him being with a paid friend.
Yes.
Okay.
And says that in his later life that wasn't him, and that was changed, or that he changed from that.
He changed from that in his later life. Okay. So when did she post that?
This was in 2019.
When did Charlie Kirk make that claim?
Hold on. I'm deleting tabs.
Hold on. I had it pulled up here.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk.
Okay, he said it in 2023. Okay. So Charlie Kirk is supposed to recant and turn back because MLK's niece didn't say that he repented or he said he was sorry, but said that wasn't his life later on.
Also can't find that post or anything about it.
Also, have you put up a vote?
Oh my! About to get booted.
I don't know. We do votes. She's supposed to do votes periodically, but she sucks at her job.
I have a hard time multitasking.
Sorry, I know. Making a lot of sense, so I'll probably be out of here soon.
I'm making a lot of sense, so of course they're gonna vote me out. Oh, yeah, that's the case. That's not the case, man, because I had somebody up here on Saturday night who was avidly against everything I was saying. We put up a vote for him. He was a lawyer. I didn't think he was a lawyer at the start. We put up a vote for him 4 or 5 times, and people voted for him to stay in because it was actually a fruitful conversation. So don't do that. Well, I'm making a lot of sense, so they're gonna vote me out. That's victim mentality. You're better than that.
Oh my god. I was joking. I do watch your religious content though.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a fan of that. I do tune in on that quite often. But what was the question again? I'm sorry. We're fraternizing.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out why you dislike Charlie Kirk. You said because he disliked MLK, but he likes Trump, right? And so therefore he's a hypocrite because Trump was worse than MLK. But part of the thing is Trump isn't doing any of these things or activating any of these things in life. As far as I know of Trump, he cheated on his wife. But he's not cheating on his wife now. He's turned from that, and I don't know what their private conversations were. Like, it's very possible Charlie sat down and had a private conversation with him about that and why he did it and all those things, and if he repented or turned from it. Because that is the Christian way, is that if somebody genuinely realizes it's a mistake, repents and turns from it, you are to forgive.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, I just think he should also address what MLK did and his repentance in later life, if we're counting.
Well, we don't even know if he did.
He did get voted off.
All right, bro. You voted off the island, but I appreciate your time.
You have a good day.
God bless.
Desperately searching, and I
God
cannot
bless.
find it.
Do 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 do. I do 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 do. I do 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 do. We haven't done super chats. This isn't fair, John. You're going live while I'm at work. Well, just listen to me at work. Bro, that was funny. Hey, man, new to the channel, but I appreciate the work you do. I'm starting my religious journey, especially after seeing the evil in the world and need for God. Stay safe and God bless. Wacky. Lord, look out for Wacky as he starts his or hers, it's hard to say, his or hers, I'm going to say Wacky Pizza Man, probably man, his journey into this faith and guide them so they don't get led astray. In Jesus' name, amen. We also went through Lord Strikers. We did Funky World, and let's do Sebastian. MLK had good ideas, but he wasn't true to his character that he portrayed in public. That all Charlie Kirk meant by that comment. Abby, crash out super chat. I don't know what that means.
Because I just yelled.
John, I've been inspired to start a channel like yours. Can you let me know what audio stuff you use so I know what not to get less than 3?
Shots fired.
I guarantee you it's not the audio gear, it's me. I can recommend this audio gear. You'll use it. It'll work perfectly. I promise you it'll work perfectly. Most of my audio gear I get because it was on sale or it was a gift, or I'm generally very cheap. I don't barely buy things at full price. As of lately, I've started doing it more, trying to get better stuff. Like, for example, I bought a cheap cable and we saw how that worked. But I'll say this, if that's not satire about you starting a channel, I was thinking about this last night. I was going to make a video on it actually. Unless you feel called, like as a Christian, unless you feel called to do this, don't. It's basically a job where you're going to get paid pretty much nothing to be hated. So unless you feel called to this, unless you feel like it's your calling in life, stay away from it. Stay away from it. 110%. Edward came in with $10, says, I actually really like Charlie Kirk. I think it's gross that people are so relieved that he suffered despite the fact his children had front row seats to his suffering. Not religious myself, though. Common misconception, his children were not there, but it is still pretty terrible. But I don't want to push out more misinformation. That's something that ran, that is his kids and wife were there. They were not there in that situation, thank God. They did not see it. That would have been awful if they saw that.
I've never liked being liked by others. I'll be fine.
Yeah, like, listen, if you're called to it, like, if you don't care about being liked, you don't care about making money, then yeah, this is the job for you. This is the job for you. It's like people who go up to pastors and like, oh, I want to be a pastor. Why do you want to be? Oh, so it seems like a good gig. I only have to work 1 day a week. That's not the job for you, bro. Because that's not what pastors do. They do way more than that. Way more than that. Just like I've done the math for the amount of hours I work. It's like $12 an hour. So,
Do you feel like answering a question?
sure.
What are your thoughts on horror movies? Are we allowed to watch them? My wife seems to believe that it's a sin, and you're allowing demons to enter your home.
I don't think a demon can enter your home through a horror movie. I would not say it's a sin. Like here's the thing. If that's a sin, don't read the Bible. Right? Because there's a whole scene in the Bible where a guy gets brutally tortured and nailed to a cross. That's horror. Now, the question is, I love horror. This is something I wrestle with on a regular basis, of like, because I love horror movies. It's one of my most favorite things to watch. Especially when I was an atheist, I would watch horror all the time. One thing I never really liked, I never liked torture horror. I never liked that much. But like horror movies of like demons and monsters, like the Conjuring series, absolutely love the Conjuring series because it was like taking down the demons. I would say this. I'd say you need to examine your heart and ask yourself why you're watching it. Right? So the reason I love horror movies, I love the idea of like having this horrible, horrendous evil and then beating the crap out of it. I love that idea. I think it's so much fun. Like for example, when I watched Transformers, I got really excited when humans started getting really good at taking out Transformers. Like during the later series, they actually sent in humans to fight Transformers and they had like skills and techniques to take them down. I love that idea. That's a cool concept for me. So like when I see like I haven't watched the movie yet, but I've seen a scene from the, what is it called? The Pope's Exorcist or something like that. The one with the gladiator guy. I'm forgetting his name all of a sudden. But they have a scene where he's talking to a demon. And the demon's like, I know your sins, priest. And the priest looks at him and goes, tell me my sins. And the demon sits there and he's like, oh, right. You can't tell me my sins because Jesus absolved me of them. I'm like, gangster. And I throw my stuff on the ground. I get hyped on that. Russell Crowe. So like, I'm going to watch that movie at some point because of that. Because I'm like, that is sick. Now, if you're watching a movie like The Terrifier, because you just really get off on the fact that people being tortured to death, then I'd say you're feeding a sin. So that's what I'd say. That's where I say the line is, right? Because you can label any movie as a horror and put it out, and it's like, oh, you're inviting demons in. I'd say if you're watching a movie like The Terrifier, because it's like, oh man, I really want to watch this guy get chopped up, and that's really awesome. I really like seeing that, right? Then I'd say you're diving into that area that is sin. I don't know if it's full on sin, but I'd say that is something that's like, hey, maybe you should stay away from that. Maybe you should stay away from that. Just like there are Christians out there that can go to corn conventions and preach to the corn stars. It's probably not you. You're probably not that Christian who can do that. But there are some Christians who can do that. It's not you, but there are some. Again, not you. That's not your calling. I'm looking at you, Lord Stryker.
Whoa.
He became a co-host, so now he gets strays. That's just how it works. Also, gangster right here. Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North General of the Felix Legions, loyal servant of the true Emperor Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife. Oh, it's such a good movie. The second one wasn't half as good. The first one was great, though. That was a long answer to that question. Some Christians just be like, absolutely it is.
I think most things are nuanced. Most.
Take my support.
I take it. I take your support. Thank you so much. That was very generous. Hunter, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How old are you?
I am 26. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. So why did you hate Charlie Kirk?
I wouldn't say I hated him. That's a strong word. I would say I disliked a lot of the ideas he had and the positions he held.
Okay, like what?
One notable clip that comes to mind is when he said that Joe Biden should either be put into jail for life or given death.
Joe Biden. Okay, that's a new one. Let's see if he said that.
I have a clip if you would like it as well.
Where did you get it? Because
on my channel, actually. If you, oh, it's from his podcast, his own podcast.
Can you post it in the chat?
Yeah, 1 moment. It's on my channel. I just got to grab the link.
Well, I don't want just a small clip, right? I want the whole thing.
The whole thing would be, I think he streamed on Rumble or Kick, one or the other. I think I have the link to his entire stream as well. Give me a moment.
Okay, I got a fact check here from Snopes. Let's see what Snopes says. Okay,
Yep.
I got the clip.
That's what
I
we're
mean, Joe
pulling
Biden
from
is a
originally as
bumbling,
well.
dementia-filled Alzheimer's, corrupt tyrant who should honestly be put in prison and or given the death penalty for his crimes against America.
Okay, what crimes against America did he think he did?
Well, I was just listening to your last conversation, and I thought the point about, assuming innocence without, being found guilty was pretty interesting. I don't know if he might have assumed he committed some crimes, but would that be?
Well, I don't think
guilt?
that he would say that the condemnation or the death penalty should be done without due process. So I'm just curious why he thinks what he thinks. Like, if he just thinks it off of a whim, like, it's probably a bad take, sure, but I wouldn't say that's a reason to hate somebody. Kirk made the comment during July 24th, 2023 episode of his podcast, Charlie Kirk Show. He's reacting to a clip of the former U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris' speech about education. Harris said in his clip, "I'm a product of teachers and an educational system that believed in providing children with the full expanse of information. It is because of that approach I stand before you as Vice President of the United States of America." Kurt's comment can be heard at the 6:30 mark via Rumble after Harrison emphasizes, "I know what you're thinking. We've got to get Joe Biden out of the way so we can run up against Cammy. Oh my goodness. Is she beatable? It's like Black Hillary on steroids. Is she black? I guess she says she's Caribbean or whatever, doesn't matter. She gives these speeches and it's just the aura of totalitarianism. My team says in the Indian Caribbean. I tell you that she would be a lot easier to beat." Well, let's just pull up the whole. Here it is.
I'm glad you read what came up beforehand.
I'm just going to play the whole context because all we got was 30 seconds. All right.
Sure. I mean, if I could give a very brief summary if you would like to hear.
I definitely don't. Everybody's summary that everybody's ever brought up about this topic so far has been incorrect. I think it's better to just go listen to the source.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Who are literally out to grind their political axe against Joe Biden, against Democrats, and literally have no evidence of wrongdoing or other criminal activity.
What is it that Kennedy stands for that has the right so head over heels for him? Is it his years of work as an anti-vaccine advocate? Or is it his assertion that antidepressants like Prozac have caused the rise of school shootings in RFK Jr. at all? But instead,
capacity to censor its critics. It has a license for any atrocity.
It's very exciting what's going on right now in inventing a new, if we make the commitments we need to.
You know, we in the Department of Homeland Security, I issued a memo very early on.
System that believed in providing the children with the full expanse of information that allowed them to then, and encourage them to then reach their own conclusions and exercise critical thought in a way that was directly intended to nurture their leadership. I am fully aware that it is because of that approach that I stand before you as Vice President of the United States of America.
I know what you're thinking. We got to get Joe Biden out of the way so we can run up against Cammy. Oh my goodness, is she beatable? It's like Black Hillary on steroids. Is she black? I guess she says she's Caribbean or whatever. It doesn't matter. She is. She gives these speeches and it just has this aura of totalitarianism. My team says she's Indian and Caribbean. I'll tell you what, she would be a lot easier to beat than Joe Biden. A lot. I mean, Joe Biden is a bumbling, dementia-filled Alzheimer's, corrupt tyrant who should honestly be put in prison and or given the death penalty for his crimes against America. But Kamala Harris, my goodness, there's something that just kind of is tribal where people are like, I don't know if I want this crazy person running the country.
So he's not expanding on why.
Yep, I was going to tell you that. I was going to say that it's still just an off comment where it kind of seemed like
hold on. Abby, what?
It says he goes on to talk about allegations against Biden and Hunter Biden, who at the time was being scrutinized by Republicans over his past business dealings in Ukraine and China. And then he frequently accused the Bidens of committing treason, which is punishable by imprisonment or death.
Okay, so I would say this. I'd say what he said is in poor taste. You shouldn't have said it like that. Better thing to say, and we say things in poor taste all the time. Better thing would be to say is, I think that he did these crimes and he should put on trial for it. I think that would be a better thing to say. But anyways, go ahead, Hunter.
Sure, I was just going to say that, especially since the clip you watched beforehand was about Kamala and the comments after about Kamala, kind of just seems like he has a deep-seated hatred for Biden. And,
Sure.
He's...
Yeah,
well,
I don't know if he's got a deep-seated hatred for him. That's a bigger accusation. It just could be the fact that he thinks that he's committed certain crimes and should go on trial. And one of those things, the penalties for that crime is the death penalty. And it seems like he's convinced that he's guilty. And I would agree. That's in poor taste. You shouldn't jump to that conclusion without first proving it.
Okay, so that's one thing is, if I'm not a big fan of people who with very little evidence or with potentially no evidence, because he didn't give any, real claim or evidence to stand by or,
I don't know if he's never done that. Like, he could have. He just didn't do it here.
Yeah, I think it's important to do it, almost every time you would make such a strong claim.
No, I don't agree with that, right? Because like if I repeated, because I do these lives all the time, and there's some things that I just say that I know my audience knows because they watch me all the time, and I'm not going to repeat it every single time for possible new people who don't watch my content simply by the fact that it's going to make for an impossible live or content to get through.
Well, I don't mean you need like a 10-page dissertation, but like you could be like, oh, I think he deserves, the death penalty for this reason, and this person is the one who's I'm sourcing or something like that. Doesn't need to be a long,
Yeah, but
thing.
Even that, like I reference the contingency argument often to my chat, and they just know what I'm talking about because I don't have to give a brief summary to it all the time. I'm just saying I agree with you. This is in poor taste, but I wouldn't say it's a reason to hate a guy.
Sure. I like I said, I didn't say I hated him. I just said I have a lot of positions that I disagree with him on, and I think he had, fairly bad positions.
Like what? Is it just this, or?
That was one of them. I think the Martin Luther King one was not a bad one as well. Another viewer brought that up, especially since Martin Luther King was never actually tried or found guilty of any of the crimes that it seems like Kirk believes that he committed.
You can't try somebody that is dead, right? But they have reports and data that shows that he did these things. Like, it's a reasonable conclusion to come to.
Mm-hmm. A lot of these reports and data were accusations from way before he died. So, I mean, there would have hopefully been some kind of investigation long before he died.
When he read all the reports and investigation, MLK wasn't kicking around. So he's just going off the data that he has. And if he has good reason to believe it's true, he has a good reason to think he's a terrible person. He didn't say that he should be put in trial or put in jail or that he should be executed. He just says, based off this information, I don't think he's a good person.
But I don't know, he didn't really give the information, he just gave like a characterization. Like a lot of this has never been proven. Like this isn't like factual information.
He's got reason to believe that it's true, and all he's stating is that based off the reason he believes it's true, he doesn't think he's a good person. That's it. What's wrong with just saying I don't think someone's a good person?
I mean, I think it's more like, you're trying to tear down a movement and a figurehead of a movement. Like, people
that's
do
armchair psychology, right? Like, it's just like he didn't. He's also in his lives. He's also talked about MLK extensively in his lives about reasons why he thinks he's wrong and the data that's come from that. But in that one specific scenario that everybody references, just a quick one-off thing, and then he goes into the actual subject he was talking about. All he said is that go look him up. All the information says, hey, he's a bad person. I don't think he was a good person.
I don't think all the information says that, though. I think that's a characterization of his opinion that he can't substantiate. Because a lot of those claims have no verifiable evidence. So if you look into them.
Even his own daughter, like the last guy that came up and talked about it, said that his own daughter said that he did those things, but it wasn't part of his last life, or his niece, sorry.
Well, did she? I'd be very careful there. Did she say he did all of those things, or did she say that he had made mistakes in his life and he wasn't a perfect person and those kinds of things?
Well,
Broad
if
general
she's addressing
statements.
those specific topics, then she would just simply say he didn't do those things if he didn't do those things, right?
Well, what I would like to see. I didn't exactly hear
I
her
didn't see it
wording. Did she
either. I
say?
didn't see it either, but
Okay.
this just seems like petty gripes, right? Like he has good reason to think he was a bad person. He said he was a bad person. He didn't say like we should put him in jail or he should have been shot or any of these types of things. He just says I think he was a bad person, and then got onto the actual issue that he had, which was the civil rights
Well,
act.
you keep saying that he had reason to believe this. Do you mean that it was reasonable for him to believe this? Like there was,
I'd
good
say if you have
evidence?
I'd say if you have CI and FBI reports that come to the conclusion that somebody did X, Y, and Z, that's a reasonable reason to come to a conclusion.
Okay. What about the very same FBI reports that we got years later that said, the FBI was on a, essentially a campaign to, ruin his, popularity, his social life, essentially take him down as an individual.
Yeah, that's what do you call it? It's called like a genetic fallacy, I think. Right? Just because they have a certain goal or a certain rhetoric doesn't change that the data that they're bringing forth is false or true or false.
Well, it does if they didn't have proof
But
for that data. If they were essentially claims or rumors.
Yeah, can you show me the thing that says that they were specifically trying to do it because of they disagreed with his rhetoric?
Who the FBI was specifically trying to do it because they disagreed with. I can show you the thing that said that there was a directive to essentially try to give him bad characterizations and bad publicity.
Yeah, show me that.
Okay, let me look one moment. Oof.
Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And now, as a woman who survived the assassinations of my uncle, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., my father, Reverend A.D. King, and my grandmother, Mrs. Alberta Williams King, I know all too well the impact of this kind of cowardly act.
Okay, that's not
Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
No, I couldn't find that. I couldn't find her talking.
So was he just making things up?
I don't know. Well, he might have seen it, but I certainly couldn't find it anywhere.
I'm looking for an original source right now, but it says it was
can't find
the
it.
actual FBI documents were revealed during the 1970 U.S. Senate hearing held at the Church Committee, and I'm looking for those documents right now.
Well, I'm not contending when it was revealed. We're contending rhetoric here. You're saying that the FBI specifically targeted him because they disagreed with his rhetoric and were trying to take him down.
I never used the term they disagreed with his rhetoric. I just said they were trying to take him down and smear him. I didn't ascribe a motive to it.
Yeah, but why were they trying to take him down and smear him? Because were they trying to take him down and smear him because they thought he was doing bad things? That's
They
important.
might have. I don't really make a claim about their motive. It could have been directed from the top. It could have been personal motives of the agents.
Hold on. The whole
or,
reason you
their
brought them up
bosses.
is because you disagreed with the motive.
Well, I disagreed with Charlie, making a broad characterization based on what is essentially unverified evidence.
Wait, so if a police officer decides to investigate me because they thought that I unalived my wife, are they showing like a biasy?
If they personally thought you did it, I guess it would depend on the evidence that they have. But
That's not what I'm
probably
saying. If the police officer starts to investigate me because they thought that I unalived my wife and they wanted to make sure it was known that I unalived my wife, does that show like an improper motive?
No, not an improper motive, but I would say it shows an improper use of their power and duties. Because
I'm not bringing up the things that they brought forward. So if the FBI and CIA had reasonable reason to believe that MLK was actually a terrible person, and then that's what they campaigned to prove, is that unreasonable motive?
Unreasonable for what?
To run
what
the
is the
campaign
goal?
to smear him?
Is the FBI's job to smear people because they're bad people?
This is completely irrelevant to what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, you can, if you think something is true, then does that make anything right to or reasonable to do? Like,
The
kind of,
reason
but
you
it doesn't
brought it,
make
the
it right
reason
or
you
good.
brought it up, hold on, the reason you brought it up is because they had bad motive, and so there should be thrown away. But if they had good reason to think that MLK was doing bad things, that would be a good motive to seek out if he was doing bad things, would it not?
Again, I didn't talk about their motive. These things have been revealed to
Then
be
why did you
smears, which means that they knew they were lies or they were unsubstantiated.
Smear doesn't mean lies.
Or unsubstantiated. They weren't factual, provable things. Otherwise, they wouldn't be smears. They would just be reporting of facts.
What's the difference between a smear and a reporting of facts?
At least, off the top of my head, I would say that the difference is that, one is, something that you can't prove or you're trying to use to assassinate the character of a person based on not, substantiated facts. I wouldn't call reporting a true, bad fact about someone a smear. That's just reporting, good news.
Smear definition. That's not a definition. Where's the definition? Smear means a group or related things, informal, a layer of spreadable food or condiment, a layer of cream cheese. Yeah, so I don't see any definition that says a smear campaign is intentionally bringing up something that's not provable or false. It just seems to be bringing something crashing to the ground. Smear.
Oh, sure. We can use whatever word you would like that, represents that idea.
A dab of cream cheese.
Okay, so then again, them saying it's a smear campaign based off that definition, I don't see as an issue, because if you see that someone is trying to do bad things and your goal is to show the world that they're doing bad things, that would be a smear campaign, but that doesn't mean it's unethical or have improper motives.
Well, do you think that my issue is that they just use the word smear, or do you think my issue is that in the documents themselves they go about how they falsify evidence, how they brought up rumors that were unsubstantiated, those kinds of
so that's not what you said originally. So you're saying now the documents are saying that they intentionally lied.
Yes, that's
okay.
true. They talked about that in the committee.
Okay,
yeah, I gave you the committee where they talked about it, and then we, I
Where?
went back into discussion with you. So I haven't had the time to look
I was never given a
actual
committee. Where's the committee?
I read it out to you. I can read it one more time.
Just post it.
It was
Post
the
it in the chat. So I can
1970s.
hold on. Post it in the chat so I can read the whole thing.
Sure, I don't have a link to the hearing yet. I just have the name.
So
I was
where are you
saying I
reading
was
it
going
from
to look
then?
for it. I just have a small snippet from it where it says these things were talked about at the, at that committee.
Where are you reading this small snippet from?
Just Google.
So take that Google link and post it in the chat.
It's a Google search. What do you mean?
So your source is the first sentence you read on Google?
This is just I just told you I'm looking for the committee, but it's I can't really do that.
You just said you
engage
gave
in a
me the
discussion.
information. Did you not?
I gave you what you asked for.
Yeah, I asked for
was
the
what I was looking
documents.
at
No,
at this
no,
moment.
that's not what I asked for. I asked for the documents that says they intentionally lied. And then you said, "Well, I gave
Yeah,
that
and then
to
I
you."
told you
And then
where
when I
those
asked,
documents
then when
would
I
be, and
asked
I'm
you,
looking
hold
for
on,
them.
hold on. Then when I asked you for the link, I don't have a link. I'm like, where did you read it from? It was just the first sentence on Google that I read. Okay, well then post
Yeah,
the first
that's where I
sentence on
read it
Google that you read.
I can shoot you a Google link. I guess it's just a Google search. But wouldn't you rather just wait like 10 seconds and I can look for the actual
Okay, so you didn't
Senate
provide it.
committee hearing?
Correct? You did not provide it.
Did not provide what?
The actual documents that says they intentionally lied about MLK.
Would you rather me be silent for about 10 seconds and I can look for them? Because then
No, you
that
could
would change
talk,
the
but you
answer,
just
essentially.
lied. You said I gave it to you.
Well, I said I gave you what you asked for, which you asked me what I
No,
read.
that's not what I asked for.
And
I
told
asked for
you
is the
what I read.
actual documents. Give me the documents, bro.
Did you only ask for one thing, or did you ask for a few things in a row?
No, that's literally the only thing I asked for.
Well, that's just a lie. We can run it back if you'd like. You
What
asked
else
me
did
for
I
like
ask
3 or
for?
4 different things, and you
What
you
else
asked
did
me
I ask
where did
for?
I hear that information. You asked me what was I reading. You asked me several different things.
That's all in the context of this specific subject.
Yeah, and I told you that the evidence comes from
So
this
do you
hearing,
have it
and I
or
read it on
no?
Google.
Do you have it or no?
What?
Do you have the actual
I'm looking
documents where
for
they
it.
confessed to lying?
Let's see.
Abby, don't forget your job.
Sorry.
Okay, so this is from Senate.gov, and it talks about the hearing. And this is just the first link. I just read the very first sentence, but I'm going to read more right now.
Okay, the part that's highlighted, which I'm guessing is the important part to you, right? No? Despite these numerous challenges, the Church Committee investigated and identified a wide range of intelligent abuses by federal agencies, including the CIA, FBI, Internal Revenue Services, National Security Agency. In the course of the work, investigators identified programs that had never been before known to the American public, including the NSA's Projects Shamrock and Minaret programs, which monitored wire communications to and from the United States and shared some sort of data with other intelligence agencies, committee staff, researchers. The FBI's long-running program of covert action designed to disrupt and discredit the activist groups, including deemed threats to social order, known as Contelapro. The FBI included among the program's many targeted organizations such as Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the Anti-Vietnam War, and includes such as Martin Luther King Jr., as well as local, state, and federal election officials. So where does this say anything that you said it says?
So none of those accusations or discredit attempts were ever proved. There's never been any evidence that proves them.
Where does it say that?
It's never been proved. What do you mean? I can't prove that something has never been proved.
You said you were going to
would be
bring
on
me a
them to prove
document
it.
that says that they admitted to lying.
I never said that they admitted to lying. I said that
You
the things had
literally
never been
did.
proved and they
You
were
literally
lies.
did.
They were
You
lies.
literally
I
did.
never said
No,
they
no, no.
admitted
You
to
said
lying.
they admitted to lying. You literally said those words.
No,
That's why I
said they
asked
were
you
lies.
4 or 5 times to give me the
And we
documents
know
where they
they were
said they
lies.
lied.
Nope. I never said they admitted
Yes,
to
you
lying.
did.
Those exact words never
All
came
right.
out of my mouth.
Yes, you did. Yes, it did. Those
It did
exact words
not.
did come. I'm moving on, man, because you are officially lying and arguing in bad faith. God bless. You 100,000% said that because I asked you 4 or 5 times afterwards if you said that. And then when you provided a document that literally says nothing referenced throughout that. You, my friend, are a liar, a straight up liar, and not arguing in good faith. Mm-hmm. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Hello?
Hi, I'm 23 years old.
All right. Why do you hate Charlie Kirk?
I don't hate him. I've just been listening to what people have been saying about him. I just feel like it's not right for them to hate him when all he does is talk good, you know.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Let's bring on. We're just looking for disagreeers today, guys. Okay. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 23.
All right, bro. Why did you hate Charlie Kirk?
I would not say I hate Charlie Kirk. I just disagree with like a lot of his points.
Like what?
His view on like black people.
What's his view on black people?
So he would say things like I'm trying to get a direct quote. Well, he would say things like black people were better off like back in the 1900s due
Back in the
to
1900s. Bro,
like
you just made me
around the
sound so
1900s
old.
back then.
You just back in the
Oh, sorry.
1900s, bro. I was born in 91. What are you saying, bro? Okay. Why did he say that?
Because he was talking about how it was reduced crime, like in the black community,
Okay.
and I think that's
So
pretty
did he say
harmful
they were
rhetoric.
better off, or did he say they were better?
He said better off. I think he used that verbatim.
No. He said they were better. Right? Because it comes from the Jubilee episode where he's talking
Better
specifically
in
at the
what
end
way?
about affirmative action. And in the context, it was talking about crime rates and things that happened like this. So all he's saying is statistically that there were less crime, right? And they were more involved in their homes.
Better in what way?
I just told you there's less crime and they were more involved in their homes.
They were better because there was less crime.
They're statistically doing less crime and they were statistically being more involved in their homes.
What do you mean by more involved in their homes? What like explain that?
So for example, about 52%. Well, it depends. 47 to like 70%, depending on where you're looking at. We'll say on average about 52% of black households do not have a father figure in them. And so back then they had more of a father figure in the homes.
Okay. So so you would believe that that Charlie Kirk was pretty much referencing fathers in the home.
Well, that is the
instead.
context of what he was talking about, right? That's the title that he brought up. He brought fathers more in the home. There was less crime rates, things like that. So all he said is back then. He's not saying that they were treated better back then. He never once said that. He's just saying statistically, there was less issues within the black community than there is now.
I wouldn't say there was less issues in the black community than there is now. I would say economically there wasn't less like troubles.
Right. That's what he was
Also,
saying.
crime rate. Well, yeah, crime rate also wasn't recorded in the same way it is now from back then. There are also like many
Yeah, he could have
that
been wrong about that. Being wrong about something doesn't make somebody doesn't give you a reason to dislike somebody. Do you think?
I think it does.
Okay, so he brings up statistics, he brings up data, he has a good reason to come to a conclusion. You say, well, they didn't record as well back then, so therefore you shouldn't have brought it up and you're a bad person for doing it?
Well, yeah, especially if it's bringing up harmful rhetoric that black
What harmful
people
rhetoric
back
does
then
that bring up?
it showed. Sorry, someone's calling me. It shows that black people are more violent now than they were back then. So it kind of brings the idea that maybe black people being put in subjugation like encourage less crime.
Okay, so you're arguing that the fear of white people caused black people to be less violent?
The fear of white people?
Yeah, them being subjugated and pushed into certain corners. Like the only reason they weren't as
That's
violent
not
as
what
they
I
are
said. I
now
said
is.
that
But
he's
hold
inferring
on,
that.
hold on. The only reason they're not as violent as they are now is because white people aren't governing them?
That's my point. He's inferring that.
No, that's what you said.
He's not.
I said that he's inferring that notion
How is he inferring that?
because he is saying that back then. Why would you compare back then to now? Like he's pretty much saying that back then when black people were subjugated,
Let's go
they
listen to
were
exactly what he said.
okay.
We'll hear word for word what he said, and then you can tell me what he means.
Okay, so I want to make a quick
you're
point. Okay, I guess the claim I'm making is that affirmative action is constitutional.
Tell me about your claim.
I wanted to talk about affirmative action because we haven't really gotten to it, and it's recently been revoked based on the new Supreme Court ruling. And I firmly believe that affirmative action is constitutional and is a right that certain American citizens deserve. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, the 14th Amendment allows for equal protection regardless of race, and it's a colorblind amendment. The whole idea of affirmative action is to try to give people extra boost based on their skin color or their racial background, which by definition cuts underneath the idea of equal protection.
Okay, so do you know why the 14th Amendment was founded and the Equal Protection and Equal Rights Act
Yeah, the 14th
exists?
Amendment was a post-Civil War amendment. 14,
Yes.
15, 16, 17 were all during Reconstruction.
So what was it in response to?
Slavery.
Oh, and who were slaves?
Well, that's an important point. So do you think affirmative action will help heal the multi-generational problems of slavery?
I do, I really do,
Okay.
because, so let's just talk about the history for a second. Slavery begins in the early 1800s.
Earlier.
No,
Slavery?
1816 is the beginning of slavery.
1619.
Oh, yeah, I guess we'll be. Okay, first slaves come in 1619, doesn't end until 1800s.
1880s.
Then we go into Jim Crow laws starting in 1877, and black people are not given equal rights until officially 1965. Would you agree with that?
That's generally the correct telling.
Yeah, so, 1960s, 1970s.
But just so we're clear that black Americans were able to serve in office in the early 1900s. They were able to vote throughout the 1900s. But yes, there were poll taxes, there was Jim Crow laws, there was segregation. Of course there was. And we get to be delusional not to acknowledge those things.
Okay, so we can acknowledge all of those things. Can we also acknowledge, due to the laws under Jim Crow, that black people were significantly hindered from economic advancement?
This is a really important question. The data shows not really. It was evil. It was terrible. But black Americans are poor today.
So listen to what he just said there. The Jim Crow laws were evil and they were terrible. But statistically, it didn't show their hindrance. So let's keep going.
2024 than they were in the 1950s.
Yes, why do you think that
Good
is?
question. So we have the Civil Rights Act, we have more benefits, more government programs. Something changed between the 1950s and 2024. So there's two answers to this question. Either America got more racist since 1950s to 2024, so like that 70-year period, because black Americans are worse off today per capita
Yeah,
than
I
they
would
were.
agree with
You agree with that? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Than in the 1950s. Or there's another explanation, and I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, which is I think you would acknowledge that the disappearance of the black father has been the #1 driver of black poverty in this country. Now there are reasons for that we could.
Yeah, what do you think the reasons for that are?
Well, culture is one. Would you agree?
So actually, let's go back to the foundations
school,
of that
prison,
culture.
pipeline, all that stuff. But can we at least agree that black dads not being around is a bad thing?
Anyone's father not being around is a bad
No,
thing.
of course,
not
but
specifically.
75% of black youth are not raised with a father in the home. It's the highest of any group in the country. It used to be 25% in the 1950s, so it's gone up dramatically in 70 years.
Okay, so you are blaming the fact that black people have not been able to achieve economic equality and
Or even
advancement in
progress,
this
because
country,
they've had decreased.
specifically and solely
Not
because
solely.
of the absence
Not
of black
solely.
men.
It is the most primary ingredient reason. It's the
So
most
you think
primary.
it's the absence of black fathers?
Correct.
And you think, what else?
Public sector's teacher unions that have kept these schools crummy and kids aren't reading and teachers keep getting paid and we don't fire bad teachers. That's a big thing.
Okay.
War on police in our inner cities and not having enough police and not actually locking up criminals. Hear me out. For example, in Chicago, do you know that only half of all murders go solved in the city of Chicago?
That doesn't surprise me at all.
That's a problem, right?
That is a problem.
Yeah. So we need more.
Okay. So what did he say that's awful?
Yeah, so I can break down a couple things. So he said that black fathers, which is probably one of the most correct things he said, which is like, yeah, black fathers being in the community is needed, of course, to reduce crime. But he also brings up the fact that the schools don't, like, I don't know what his point really was about that.
So
Like he
then
said
if you
the
don't know what his
schools-
point about it is, why are you bringing it up?
I'm about to explain.
If you don't know what his
So-
point is, you can't critique it because you don't understand it, right?
Well, from my understanding of his point is that he's saying
Well,
that
you just said you don't know what his
schools
point
should
is, so don't
fire
bring it up.
bad teachers. Well, he said schools should fire bad teachers.
Yeah, but if you don't understand what his rhetoric and his point is, you can't critique it. You can't say it's wrong to say it, but I don't get what you're saying.
Well, that's what he said verbatim, so that's pretty much.
But you
my
just said
perception.
I don't understand what he's saying. Do you or do you not understanding what he's
Are
saying?
you going to
why
go
brought it
with
up?
semantics with what I'm talking about? or
Semantics
you
are
gonna-
very important because right here we're putting a man on trial, right? We're saying why he's evil and why he's not evil. So if your argument is to show why he's a bad person is coming from a place where you do not understand, it shows how dishonest you are, not how dishonest he is.
I
If
don't
you
know
say,
where
if
you're-
your first
where you're
sentence is,
at.
I don't know why he brought it up, but I'm going to use it as a tool against him, then it's not
Yeah,
a good way to
why would
understand
you
his
bring-
position.
My idea of saying I don't know why he brought it up isn't because I'm saying I don't know what he means. I'm saying I don't know why he brought it up because I think it's irrelevant.
If you don't know why he brought it up, then you don't know why he's using it or why he
Did
thinks
you
it's
hear what I
important.
just said?
Yes, I
Did you
understand
hear
what
what
you said. You're
I
saying
just said?
I understand. You're
Repeat
saying
what I said.
100%. You're saying I understood what he's saying. I get the meaning of what he's saying, but I don't know why he would bring it up. If you're saying I don't know why he bring it
Because
up, then
it's
you
what?
don't know what his rhetoric
Because
is.
it's what? Because it's irrelevant, right? Is that what I said?
So why are you bringing it up then?
Because it doesn't make sense.
What? Okay.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
So then, how does that make him a bad person?
What? What do
The
you mean?
whole
How
point
does
here
that
is
make
he's
him
a bad person you dislike with him. He brought up something that you think that doesn't make sense. Why does it
This
make
is
a
a
bad person?
subtopic. You can't just bring it.
Then
to
why'd
the
you bring
whole
it up?
channel. Because are you joking? You're not even
No,
listening.
I'm not joking. What is
You're
what
not
is your
listening.
issue against Charlie Kirk for bringing
You
that up?
just asked me why did I bring up that he said that teachers are bad, and you said why does that make him a bad person?
Yeah.
That's not my point.
Then why bring it up? Because the whole point we're talking about here is whether or not
Because
Charlie
he's
Kirk is a good
talking
or bad
about
person.
bad teachers contributes to bad high violent black crime. That's what I'm pretty much talking about.
Literacy is
And I'm saying
connected
that that
to
is irrelevant.
crime. Like
From what statistic? Where does that show?
they literally there's lots of I can have there's
Name it.
every library
I would like to see the name.
every library institute.
Like?
There's lots of
No, that's the name,
Oh, that's the name?
isn't it, Abby?
yeah. I'm gonna send them to you. Like that, but that's a very common thing that people talk about is like dropout of school is very
And who
closely
funds these
connected-
schools? The government?
very connected to crime.
Wait, so
Right,
here's the
and who
thing. Here's
funds
the
these
thing, though. Your
schools?
original contention. And I'm still gonna bring this up. I'm not dodging. I'm just waiting for it to load. Your original contention is that you said black people were better off in the 1950s than they are now. Is that right or wrong in the statistics that he was talking about?
I don't think they were better off in the 1950s, no.
So you think statistically they performed the exact same amount of crimes? They were less involved in the home. They were like it's the exact same as it was then as it is now.
Well, economically, they've caught up way more than the 1950s. So yes, I think they are better off now.
So
Completely.
okay. So can you show me anything at all, any sort of static or statistic or data that says that they are the exact same amount of parents involved in households, exact same amount of crime rates involved in black communities in 1950s as they were now?
Well, like I said before, I said that the crime wasn't recorded in the same way that it is now.
Can
today.
Can
So
you
I
prove
wouldn't-
that?
Yeah, I can.
Low literacy rates in crime connected with literacy rate in crime. This is the thing that she's bringing up. It's really not hard to see the connection between literacy and crime. If you struggle with reading the comprehension, it's pretty obvious that you're simply going to be less likely to fully understand the following laws, rules. This in turn typically leads to a higher likelihood of getting into trouble with the law at some point down the road. And then Crime and Liberty Report from every library institute. You'll receive it. It is a common to refrain from lack of access to education is one of the major contributing factors to the incarceration in the United
Guess
States.
John's going to jail.
What is not commonly discussed is the direct impact that reading and literacy skills specifically have on levels of incarceration and crime rates. In this report, we explore the data around library funding, impacts literacy, and the correlation affecting on time. It is critical to understand the connection between libraries, literacy, and crime in the United States. Adults with low literacy skills have far more likely to be under or unemployed and therefore more likely to turn to criminal activities for financial survival. Children and parents with limited literacy skills are more likely not to graduate with high school and end up in criminal justice systems. Public and school libraries have long served as a community anchors and centers of literacy education.
Yep. I don't understand how that proves his point.
Because
Is that a black
if there's
issue?
if there's a problem with teaching specifically in the black communities, which seems to be what they're talking about, because that's the context, then there's going to be lower literacy rates and there's going to be more likely to be involved in crime.
I would say that it's because of the government, not because of teachers in general. I think it's the government.
Yeah, no shit,
lack
Sherlock. No
of
one's
funding.
denying that.
Okay, then how is that no shit, Sherlock, when you just made that
Because
same
the whole
point?
point that he brought up was the affirmative action is constitutional. That's the subject right here. Is it or is it not constitutional? They're talking about the government's involvement in these things. And one of the things that he's saying is an issue is the teaching that's happening.
It's bad funding to schools. That's what I said. For the third time.
So he's agreeing that you need better teachers in your schools. So again, how does this make him a bad person?
Funding
He's
to the schools.
saying it's all about funding. He's saying
You're
it's
saying,
not the-
okay, you're saying the mechanism in which he has to do. Like, he could disagree on the mechanism. That doesn't mean that the conclusion is the same.
Why?
The fuck is wrong with you? What do you mean, why?
You just said it
Could you
doesn't mean
have
the
two different? Can you have two different mechanisms to
How
come
is
to the
that-
same conclusion?
Give me an example.
If Charlie Kirk believes that you should have better teachers in black schooling, and you believe that you should have better teachers in black schooling,
better funding.
Better teachers. I'm being very specific. If you guys both agree that you should have better teachers in black schooling, but you just disagree on the means to come to that conclusion, how does that make him a bad guy?
Well, because like I said, and like you did not prove it, I asked you, where does it say that there are bad teachers in the schools, so you have to fire the teachers instead of the funding, which is
You
my
never
actual
asked me
argument.
that. You're changing the topic.
Well,
Answer my
well,
question.
right now
Answer
I'm
my
saying
fucking
instead of the
question, you moron. If they
I
both
just
have the
answered it.
same, if they both have the same
Calling me a
ends, they
moron
both.
won't prove you any right, by the way.
No, me proving me right is going to prove me right. Calling you a moron is just something that keeps me calm. All right,
You
so
didn't prove it.
if you both have the same conclusion that you both need better teachers in your school systems, how does that make him a bad guy?
When did I say that?
You
I
literally
said
said it
funding.
5
For
minutes ago.
the sixth time I said funding.
Do you need better teachers in your school?
Do I need better teachers in my school? I
Not
think
your
we need
school
teachers
specifically.
that
Do you
know.
need better Do you need better? What is the funding for? Is it to
I
hire
know.
better
I know not
teachers?
my school specifically. I know not my school specifically.
Is the funding to hire better teachers?
Is the funding to hire better teachers? I
Yes.
think better curriculum.
So the funding is to introduce a better teaching system?
Sure.
So you both agree you should have a better teaching system?
Does that equate to teachers?
Yes, that's going to be part of it, right? That's going to be
How?
a factor.
Explain.
Answer the fucking
Explain.
question, you idiot. Does funding equal a better teaching system?
Did I not just say you don't even listen?
I'm tracking back to make sure that you're
Did I
consistent.
not just say yes?
Does it
Yes or
equal a
no?
better teaching system?
You're not even listening.
Does it answer?
Yes.
Yes,
For the-
great.
for the
Does
fourth
Charlie
time,
Kirk?
yes.
Does Charlie Kirk think you guys need a better teaching system?
Does Charlie Kirk? No, he said bad teachers. He said kick
Why
out
would
the
he think you
teachers. He
need
didn't
good
say teaching
teachers?
system.
Okay, if he doesn't think you need a better teaching system, why would he want better teachers?
I don't know. You explain that for me.
So you're
I'm
just
not Charlie Kirk.
Are you okay?
That's why I disagree with
When
him.
you went to school, did you have to go to a special class or?
Buddy, I know you're like angry right now because I'm
Because
just
this
making
is
you
the
look foolish,
stupidest fucking
but
thing I've
you
ever
have to
heard, man.
explain Charlie Kirk's position in your-
Why would he want better teachers in the school if he didn't want to improve the teaching curriculum?
Why would he need better teachers in the school?
Why would he ask for better teachers in the school if he did not want to improve the teaching curriculum?
You tell me. I do not know.
No, I'm asking you.
I
Give
do
me
not
a
know. I
logical
really
reason.
don't know.
No, make something up.
I just told you I don't know.
Make up something in the ether. Any logical reason why somebody would want better teachers in a school to make a worse teaching curriculum?
Well, he should have mentioned teaching curriculum. I don't know.
No,
My
no.
point is funding.
No. I'm going to show you
The
how you're
schools for
stupid.
better teaching
I'm going to show
curriculum.
you how you're stupid because now I'm not even caring about this topic. My goal right now is just to prove that you're stupid because you are. Give me any logical
You're mad.
syllogism or argument that says that a person who wants better teachers in his school is trying to not improve the teaching curriculum.
I didn't say he does. He probably does want the teaching curriculum to be improved, but his
Oh,
point
so
was
he
saying
does
that
want
he
the
wants to
teaching
kick out-
curriculum improved.
Bro, are you trolling?
Are you? So he does want the teaching curriculum improved. You want the teaching curriculum improved. What's the issue?
Did he say that?
He says he. Why would he want
Verbatim,
better
did he
teachers?
say
Why
that?
would he want better teachers in the school
It's
if he
funny
does not?
because you
just
criticize
said.
people
Shut up for a
about
second, you
verbatim,
idiot.
and now you're
Shut up for a
making up
second, you
your
idiot.
own argument for
Shut up for
Charlie
a second,
Kirk.
you
I
idiot.
just hope you know that.
Shut up for a second, you idiot.
Yeah, okay.
You just
I'm
said
an
2
idiot.
seconds ago
You're mad.
that he probably wants to improve the teaching curriculum because he wants better teachers. Can you give me any logical answer on why somebody would want better teachers in the school if their goal is not to improve the teaching curriculum?
Do you know the teachers are
answer
different
I'm
from
not
the teaching
going to
curriculum?
let you escape this. Answer this question. Give me a logical reason on why somebody would want better teachers in the school if they don't want to improve the teaching curriculum.
We need to. You have to prove to me that it's
Stop
the
running.
teachers.
Stop running. Give me
Prove to
any
me that it is
logical.
the
You're
teachers.
running, you're scared, and you're showing everybody how stupid you are. Give me any logical reason why somebody would want to put better teachers in a school when they don't, if they don't want to improve the teaching curriculum.
Because they probably think the teachers are bad at their job.
So why would they want to
Sure.
put better teachers in the school if they don't want to improve the
Or
teaching
better
curriculum?
teachers that are qualified for their job.
Yeah, so why would they want to put better teachers in the school if their goal is not to improve the teaching curriculum?
For teachers that are better at their job.
So he wants better teachers in the school to make the
Yes.
teaching
Yes.
curriculum worse?
Yes. Oh, what? To make the teaching curriculum worse? When did I say
Yes.
that?
Because
When did I say that?
the conclusion here, you both want to improve the teaching curriculum. You're saying he never said that, right?
Yeah, he never said that.
Okay, then why is he advocating for better teachers, you fucking idiot?
Because he probably thinks that they're not good at their job.
Why would he want people to be better at their job if he does not want to improve the teaching curriculum, you fucking idiot?
What? That doesn't make sense.
He did get.
God damn, he was stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. All right. That right there is a prime example of why you need better teachers. Abby, entertain the crowd. I got to use the bathroom. Tell them stories about me like you always do.
Q&A time, guys. What do you want to know? People just kind of want to be mad. I wouldn't say he's got a short temper because he's actually been pretty great today. So technically, he's got like a 2 hour and 40-minute, what's it called? Fuse. Dumb people. Feel like we gave the random member selection was a little bit went to the wrong person.
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
What shit is she talking about me now?
I'm not saying anything. I'm talking about somebody else. 'Cause you're not saved, clearly.
I'm not saved?
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever said that, fuck yourself.
Maybe.
That's clear evidence that you're not saved. So here's a question for you. The person who said I was not saved. Is Saint Nick saved? Saint Nicholas. Is he saved? Just a quick question. Was Saint Nicholas, Santa Claus, the actual Saint Nicholas, was he saved? The guy who literally reached sainthood and was declared a saint. Are they not answering now?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, he literally punched a guy in the face for just saying that Jesus wasn't God.
Cloud Creation.
Was my nose safe? It's pretty jacked up, right?
My,
I'll give you that.
My name on Discord is Abs of Steel, just because it's a pun. Because my name's Abby.
And she also has abs of steel. Like
last name is
she's ripped. Like she is ripped. I'm not even lying. What time is it? I don't know if we got enough time for another.
I'm just laughing because then the mighty Filbert, who's the one who's got an issue with you, comes and he's like, I'm supposed to believe that this blasphemous, easily angered piece of shit that shows no signs of the gifts of the Spirit is a Christian. So what are you doing right now?
Call me a piece of shit. I mean, I am a piece of shit. That doesn't mean that Jesus doesn't love me. Take my support. I did. Thank you for the gifted memberships.
Probably shouldn't do because we'll run out of time.
It doesn't matter. They lied about the man. I just can't believe Charlie Kirk's an evil person and a terrible person for wanting black communities to have better teachers and more fathers in their home. He did say bad teachers should be fired. Thank you, John, for opposing this awful ideology. No one should be happy about innocent man's death. No room for that in a civil society, period. May God bless you and your ministry. Thank you very much. This is not a ministry, though. I'm an entertainer. This is not a ministry. I'm not a priest. I'm not a preacher. This isn't a ministry. I used to call it a ministry, but it's not. I'm an entertainer. I'm a debater. And a lot of the subjects I debate revolve around religion because I believe that's important and about who Jesus is. But it is not a ministry. But thank you. Bro, don't lose your patience. Explain to him Charlie wasn't against the government funding. Don't tell me what to do. Vincent, left says Charlie's racist because he believes white replacement. I still got to look more into that. I don't know anything about it. How do I get on the debate? Well, not today. I think we're shutting it down today. Abby told me no more for the debates today. Abby said no. She saw me cuss someone out, and she's like, "Okay, John, it's time to wheel it in. Time to pull it in. Time to pull it in.
Time to calm down.
Time to calm down."
And then I can actually do the timestamps before we leave, and not when I get home.
Oh, you could start doing them now. Then.
No, I can't. I can't do it till we're done.
Yeah, you could start noting them. You can
I
put
noted
it.
them.
You could put it. You can edit the description while we're live.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Well, but I need to double check my timestamps.
Oh.
Got to be accurate.
Oh. Oh. See what kind of man you are, the way you're bossing her around. Woman,
No way.
Woman, listen to me. You're going to finish the timestamps. You're going to do what I tell you to do. And then when we're done that, we're going to go to the gym. We're going to work with the kids. And when we get home, I want you immediately in that kitchen. I want you cooking dinner, right? No waiting, no nothing. You can use the washroom when you're done. Once dinner is cooked and my plate is served, you can do something for yourself. I don't care what you do,
Yes.
but not until my plate is served and my slippers are on. Do you understand me, woman?
Yeah. Guess what he was actually doing? He was going to let me get off early because he's going to let me do my job while he's still going, which I was like, I didn't think I could do. So he's actually being nicer to me than I was being. Grow up.
What about the dinner?
Yeah, we're going to have pancakes.
We're having pancakes tonight. We're having pancakes. We're having pancakes. We're having pancakes. And she's making me pancakes because I told her to. And she's a good woman that listens to her man. You understand that. The only thing she does is what I tell her to do when I give her permission. Do you all understand that? Or that is my property over there. I own her. Drop my pen.
Funky's World is threatening you.
With what?
I don't know, you just said this is a threat. He said, give me the Amazon link. This is a threat.
Oh, the Amazon link? I'll post it in the Discord after. W patriarchy. Grifting off of Kirk's death. No, that's not grift. We haven't started grifting yet. I'm gonna start grifting after I pray. Then we'll start grifting.
Pray first.
You were Charlie Kirk's photographer?
What?
Do
we believe him?
I don't know if we believe him.
Are they trying to come up?
No, they're just saying he was.
Oh.
Maybe. He's got 80,000 followers.
Whoa.
Christ is King, professional photographer, laughter, love, sad. I'm going to follow you and see if you're telling the truth. And if you're not telling the truth, I'm going to dox you. I'm going to tell everybody to start taking pictures of you when you're outside.
What?
just going to put you on the pedestal. That's pretty cool though if you were. All right. Let's do a quick prayer. John should start an OnlyFans. I thought about it. I was going to start an OnlyFans. This was a legit marketing plan I had done a while ago. I was going to start an OnlyFans. I was going to pump it into the news that Christian apologist starts OnlyFans content, and then I wasn't going to tell anybody what was on it. And then when they went to subscribe to my OnlyFans, it was just going to be me putting on clothes and reading the Bible.
That was our plan.
That was the plan.
Like an absurd amount of clothes.
But I thought about it, and I don't think it's good because by them coming over to my OnlyFans and looking at that, it supports the platform in which is doing like something that is evil. And so we decided not to do that.
We did also think about having an OnlyFans and it just being Bert.
That was another option too. But yeah, it was just going to be me putting on more clothes. And like every picture is just going to be progressively more and more clothes until I'm wearing like a full parka, laying on my bed, reading the Bible, kicking my feet in the air, like on my stomach with my legs up, kicking my feet and just reading. And that was going to be the whole thing that we are going to use as a promotion. But again, we decided not to do it because we don't want to promote that website. All right. So Abby can do her damn job. We should sign off.
Well, we got a few minutes
told
to
to do.
hang out, but
Like she's told to do. Also like bossing her around. I am her boss.
yeah,
Does that count?
that's
Am I allowed to boss her around not because I'm a man to a woman, but because I'm actually her boss right now? I've hired her to do a job. Like, she gets paid to do this.
Yeah, he
She,
buys me whatever I want.
well, not that. I just give her my entire paycheck. Like, I get money and I just give it to her. And I just say, here's the money. Like, I don't get any money. It all goes to her. You are both a run pansy? Okay. Well, this person's like, I'm running from them. Like, they think that this person has 2 dots in their name, that they're going to school me.
Yes,
So
we're
therefore I'm
very
scared of them. This person, I don't
Thanks
know
for
who
the
they
money,
are.
though.
You're both a great union. Let's get on. It's protein pancakes too. It's far better than regular pancakes. How many days in a row have I done this topic? A lot. And we're actually going to do, I was actually going to, Abby, can you run a poll to say, do you guys want me to continue this topic or move on? And I'm just asking my main followers. Thank you for the donation. While she's doing that poll, let's do a quick prayer. Our Father is in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Lord, thank you for what you do. Thank you for the blessings that you've given. Thank you for all that you provide. I ask that you bless every single person, even the ones I call stupid and idiots, that they come up on the chat. I ask you bless their lives in every possible way, that you give them happiness, health, joy, prosperity. But more importantly, I ask that you draw them into the knowledge of who you are so they can have a relationship with you. If we're wrong in what we do, Lord, including myself, if I'm wrong in what I do, I ask that you correct me and put me back on the right path, that the Holy Spirit moves through me and guides me and convicts me to what is true. I ask that you give every other Christian in the chat opportunities to be more like Christ-like, more share the gospel, to even speak on these political points that are abhorrent and evil, to actually bring the truth to the light. And Lord, we know that you are the truth, and without you, we can't fully understand the truth. We can't fully understand the light if we're in the darkness. So help us see your light and help us see your brightness. Forgive us of our sins, be patient with us, and give us grace, and never turn from us, no matter how much we try to turn from you. I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. All right, so with that being said, time for the plug. I can't even say her name. Mitz AM is a Nepo baby. Abby.
Mitzrayim?
Is that Mitzrayim? Is that how you say it? Is a Nepo baby. Abby, let John stay. What's a
Nepo?
What's a
Nepo
Nepo?
baby.
What's that?
A Nepo baby is somebody who gets their money because their parents have money.
These two started beef. Lord Stryker and Mitzrayim has started beef. They're beefing with each other. And I like it because the more they beef, the richer I get. All right, with that being said, guys, if you want to support me, you want to Mitzravium. Okay. If you want to support me, support my channel, you can do so by obviously subscribing on my YouTube. This is where primarily all my content goes out to. I put out, I'm going to get back to it. Like I said, we've gone through some tragedy over the last month, so content has slowed down. But we do about 2 videos a week over there. We also do some hangout sessions, some raids. We go live all the time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, bare minimum. So go there. Also support us on Patreon. You get access to our daily Bible study. You get access to exclusive content that's put out for just you guys. And you get access to the replay hangout sessions or the replay raids, right? Which will only be for the supporters. People can watch it live. Everybody can watch it live. But for those that support, if you want to go back and watch it, you have to support either on Patreon or as a member on YouTube. With that being said, we're going to end it on TikTok. If you guys want to continue chatting or have any more questions, head over to YouTube at Big John Steele. We'll continue the conversation there for about 5 more minutes, and then we're going to take off. And just before we did that, the beef continues. Mitzrayim doesn't say anything. They just
They just send the money.
they just like it's like it's like when you got parents, you got a mom that tells you that she loves you and hugs you all the time, but then when you go talk to dad, they're just like, here's $20. Here's $20.
So you're saying Lord Stryker's the mom?
Oh wow! Thank you so much, Funky World. Wow,
such a gangster thing to say.
Wow, thank you so much for the support. 200 big ones. At least make it difficult. Wow.
Just flexing on everybody.
Wow, thank you so much, Funky World. That was very generous of you. Very, very generous. Thank you. Damn. Funky World has just moved up as to my most so far. Here's the order of favorites. It's Funky World, Mitzrayim, and Lord Stryker.
I feel like...
I mean, Lord Stryker is contending because Lord Stryker came up and smoked in debate. I mean, there's a 1 and 3 zeros, so.
Technically, they're in order though because your little
But hold
the
on.
little crowns. Funky's World has the number 1 crown.
Oh,
and
does it?
Mitzrayim has the number 2 crown, and Lord Striker's got number 3.
Does it actually? I
Yeah,
don't see it.
It reflects in the chat.
Really? Okay. So I was correct. I was correct in the. Is that just that chat, or is it like all? It does include everything on it. All right, TikTok. We'll see you later. God bless. Again, if you want more, come over to YouTube. Yeah, is that everywhere? Or? You
I don't know because they don't comment in the shorts.
Oh, okay.
Which is fair because shorts is vile.
You three are single-handedly keeping us afloat. So I'll like that's incorrect. A lot of everybody helping is keeping us afloat. Yeah. I'm just giving you guys props because you guys do a lot.
Lord just keeping us afloat by laughs.
Laughs, yeah. It physically wouldn't let me send 1 penny. That's true. That's one thing I hate. Sometimes I want to send a comment to like God Logic or Inspiring Philosophy, but I brokey. And so when I try to send it, I was like, I got a sentence to send, and then it fills out and it's like, you need to send more money to add more letters to the sentence. And I was like, really? That's something I don't like. If I had it my way, I'd have it so you can send as many letters as you want for no matter the price. Because I don't like, of course I need you guys' support, but I also know what it's like to be a really broke person. Sometimes people just want to contribute and be part of it. And sometimes they have a really long question. And I don't think for the fact that they have less means that they shouldn't be able to ask the same questions, which is one of the reasons we scour for questions too. Right.
Yeah. Just free questions. I try and keep an eye.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm only 22nd. Hey, that's better than being off the list completely. Amy Slates, thank you so much. Very generous to you.
Somebody asked, do you have to join Patreon for Discord access? No.
No. Discord is free. I don't offer enough on Discord to charge for it. I mean, Lord Striker pretty much runs it. Yeah, I'm number 3. As soon as John gets off the live, I'll go back to helping poor people for free. Enjoy donating number 1. I mean, technically, Lord Striker has got a $170,000 loan that he's got to pay off, and he put that money in to help out poor people as a lawyer. I mean, listen, that might not get the Big John Steele clout, but I think that gets the Jesus clout. I think that gets a good done, my good and faithful servant someday. That's pretty based. Although, letting your left hand know what your right hand's doing.
Uh-oh.
You might have lost it. You might have took your reward on heaven. Because the scripture literally says that when men praise you for the things that you do, you've taken your reward from heaven. So I just praised you. I just took some of your heavens. Listen, Lord Striker is the most charitable, most nice guy. He's always helping people. He's so Christ-like. I'm just taking all your heaven rewards right now, bro. We can't get over how Christ-like Lord Striker is all the time to people. All the time.
Money.
We just took all of his heavenly rewards from him. He's going to go up to heaven and be like, the God is like, I had a mansion for you. I had a Ferrari for you. I had all these things for you. But remember that time Big John Steele went on live and gave you a bunch of props? You're losing the Ferrari. You're losing the mansion. I tell you what, we'll give you a condominium. That's about it. That's all you get. Sabotage. What did the survey say about the topic?
Oh, I did 4. I just said pick a topic. I did Charlie Kirk, Jesus Rose, Muslims, and New Age, and Jesus Rose won by 38%.
Not a lot. That's not a huge spread.
Well, that's 4 different
41?
options. There's 4 different options. That's a lot. That's almost half.
Okay.
Jesus Rose is 41%. Charlie Kirk's 33%. Muslims are 19%. New Age is 7%.
I understand why you guys don't want Muslims. It's the same.
Well, Muslims beat New Age.
Yeah. Well,
but it's so boring.
True. Okay. Well, we'll do a little bit of Jesus Rose from the dead, some anti-atheism stuff, and then we'll keep going. We'll do the Charlie Kirk topic here and there now. We won't do it every day. So like Wednesday, we'll do something else. I'll figure out what something else is. But then maybe next Monday we'll go back to Charlie Kirk again. Because I really do think this is an important topic. I really do. I think it's really important because, again, I'll say it. I said it before. I'll say it again. I think the whole world just told us who they were, and that needs to be put on display. Like, when people tell you who they are, you need to trust them. With that being said, guys, God bless you all. We love you, and we will see you all tomorrow for the hangout, most likely. Again, hangouts aren't promised, but if I can, I will be here.